Disclaimer. The opinions and speculations presented in discussions about true crime are based on available information, public records, and individual perspectives. They do not constitute factual claims or legal conclusions. Content provided is for entertainment purposes only.
Hey baby, wake up from your sleep. We have arrived onto the future and the whole world is become electronic.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Order in the court!
Okay. Hi guys. Welcome to Strange Suspicion. If you've not been here before, we have discussed the Brian Kohberger case here pretty much most of the time. So I thought maybe we would do that tonight as well. I am wearing just the black and white makeup today, no contacts. My head hurts a little bit, guys. But I just wanted to say something like right off the bat. I just tried to post something in the chat, and I'm going to tell you what it says. I posted, all I wanted was to hang with you guys. We were talking about my birthday, for those of you who were already in here talking about my birthday. Yeah, it's my birthday week, my birthday month, whatever. And I put, all I wanted was to hang with you guys. And it says, YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. So that brings me to my first point of business here, guys. I got a few comments telling me that they were upset that I deleted their comments. I don't delete comments, guys, not unless you're insulting me as a person. You know what I mean? Like if it's inappropriate, negative. If you don't remove those comments as a creator, if there's any creators in here and you don't know that, if you don't remove those comments, you actually get violations against your channel. So I do know that they block comments that have links. And I know they block comments with certain words. I don't know really the list of words. I mean, I'm sure we can probably assume what the words are, right? But speaking of that, I just know that you can disagree with me. You can agree with me. Your comment is going to be there. If ever your comment doesn't end up under the video, please let me know right away. I have my email is right in the channel description. If you scroll to about the middle, it's separated by a bunch. It's like pretty noticeable. It's strangelysuspicious@gmail.com. Any of you can email me. It's fine. So I wanted to get that out of the way right away. And hopefully you guys understand that, because I swear there's absolutely no reason to delete any comments. For one thing, it's not very smart as a creator to get rid of comments. You want as much engagement as you can get. So I did receive a comment under the new video, and I'm not going to call this person out by name because that's just childish. But this person, that's right. If you troll, you got to go. Thanks, Bob. So this person said that, so we'll start right here, that Brian Kohberger was at WSU, okay? And he was studying criminology. And on the PhD level of criminology, what you need to do is go to the crime lab. And this man or woman, I don't know, because usually the trolls just use user 123566121, you know what I mean? They don't have anything personal, but this person had like user this, right? And they said, where's your receipts? Where's the course list? And if you guys want to disagree with something in the video, that's all you, but thank you, Deborah. Interestingly enough, this person, if they would have watched the entire video, Bob took all the time to look at all the curriculum and all the coursework, and it's scrolling down the screen. I believe it's in red and white, and he got that right off the WSU website, that they work with the police department, the state police and the local police. Because I don't know, when I was getting both my master's degrees, you have to go have hands-on experience with what you're doing. It's a graduate program. You have to. So yes, he did look it up. And yes, it's easily found on the WSU website. We're not going to give out false information, but if you are in the chat, put that pink hand up, because I would love to discuss that for you. This person kind of challenged me and said that I would go silent. I don't have any reason to go silent. If anybody would to know me personally in this chat, I talk more than anybody I've ever known. Okay, so I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to back down. There's no reason. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate you saying that. Love meeting in the lodge. Nice vibe. I just want to say thank you to Norman once again, our most perceptive. Our most perceptive. The comments. On all the Easter eggs. He's amazing. Norman, we love you so much. We love you all, but Norman he has looked at every single piece of every single video on this channel, and he finds all the Easter eggs. Somebody did ask me what Easter eggs are. Bob, do you want to explain that? I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. I mean, Easter eggs are just like hidden things that aren't necessarily, have to do with what's going on. It's just stuff that I like, and just hidden things, like an Easter egg is hidden and you got to find it.
Right. That's true. So Norman has been doing that, which is amazing. But I did also get a lot of flack from that person that was talking about Inan Harsh. So I wanted to make another point. And I don't think I really need to make this point because you guys are really smart, but I guess some of you need to be told this. I don't care if that was the first time I brought up Inan Harsh and this person was like, oh, that's old news. I mean, not on this channel. And I didn't incriminate Inan, I don't feel. And then somebody else was upset. So I just want to calm this one person down that told me that I thought because Inan Harsh used to do drugs, that's why he does drugs. I base that purely on speculation of his personality and the things that he has said on other true crime channels. If he's not still on drugs, he's not all there. That's all I can say. That's my professional opinion, by the way. So about Inan, Bob, did you find him suspicious or no?
I just want to throw up a hey to Pete real quick.
Oh, hey, Pete, what's up?
Did I think Inan was suspicious? I thought the things he said were really strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, his story about the wine bottle was kind of weird. And I don't know, just the things he was saying about like
giving them an open bottle of wine. I mean,
like if you listen to that, he says he walked up to them and was like, hey, you want a bottle of wine? And they were like, fuck yeah. And he just handed him the bottle of wine and he walked away. Like didn't even introduce himself. Just like, hey, here's a bottle of wine. Peace out. I don't know. He's just weird. Totally
weird. And then he said that he wanted to crash one of their parties. What he said in his interviews does not match up with what he wrote. So I don't know if he's changing his story, or sometimes people remember things wrong. They remember them more accurately after time. I don't know.
Yeah. He probably added more to the story. I think what was it? Was it 4chan or was it Reddit?
Which the one that I read? Yeah. That was Reddit.
Okay, well, I think on that he was just like, I don't know. He was like writing a book about himself. I don't know. He was thrown into the case, so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna tell everybody about me."
Right. That was the other thing. And then he was like, "How many views did it get?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who cares how many views it got? Like, it's supposed to be about 4 people who lost their lives, not you and your knife juggling and you're watching them from afar trying to think about how you could crash their party. Like, that's weird.
And
that's like and creep factor is like 100 because or 1 million because he's like 30, right? Still living in that neighborhood. Yeah. Trying to give young girls some open wine with who knows what was in it.
But
and let me just answer this.
He was let go off them charges.
Oh yeah, those were a lot of charges. The firearms charge.
Well, yeah, that was the biggest thing of that whole shit. Like, let off on some gun charges and all them drug charges or whatever, man. I don't know.
Yeah, everything. It was.
I don't know the whole story, but damn.
Weapon. It was the second robbery. It was possession of meth, MDMA, mushrooms, and there's one more. But all he got charged with, he didn't get charged with the meth, nothing. Just the MDMA.
Yeah, I don't know.
Intent to deliver. Yeah, and possession.
I don't know too many people that are just let off on those things, you know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. That's what I'm like, that's interesting, right? Because he has said both. He said the in the last video we did, I believe it was last video. Bob can tell me if I'm wrong, but in the last video we did, Inan said, "Oh yeah, I didn't even hear about it till people like were texting me," and I was like, "Oh, LOL, I don't have anything to do with that." Ooh, with his little laugh. I think that was his laugh. I think that was in our last video. But he said, like, he has said both ways. He knew already. I mean, how could you not know that there are hundreds of police in front of your, like, right down the hill from where your apartment is? If you can see them having a party, you can see the commotion, right?
My other question is too, I wanted to put this in our last video, but I don't know if it was true, and you didn't really know either, and I don't think it is, but the dude in the Grubhub truck footage that had like the drug rug on, you remember that?
Oh yeah, he had like a poncho, like a
whatever,
like
a sheep herder outfit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Balky Bartakamus.
Yeah.
From Perfect Strangers.
Was that him? I don't know if I don't remember.
I don't think so, because if he just got off work, why would he go to the grub truck? Because he's a chef, right?
They got good macaroni and cheese there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I hear. They have like the hot one and bacon, stuff like that. I was listening to everybody order. See, somebody knows who Balky is. Thank you, Mittens for Kittens. Now I don't feel so old. Sometimes I say things and people are like, "What are you talking about?" It's embarrassing. It wasn't him. No, Deborah's saying it was not him.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't really sure. That's
many times if you want.
I just heard tonight about the dang footprint. Who wants to? Who knows about the footprint? Well, I don't know if that's true. Did anybody hear anything new about the footprint? Whose footprint it was?
Yeah, wasn't there a rumor that it was a Van shoe at first?
Well,
or something.
I heard somebody say that it's still a Van shoe, I guess, but that now it's the EMT's footprint.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, but where would he get blood from? How is that the only bloody footprint? That's what. Were they hopping? Did they carry their shoes and they dropped one? That could be it, right?
I don't know.
I just keep thinking, like, I don't want to be like stuck in what everybody else is talking about. I want to think outside the box, guys. So let's think about like different things that we haven't thought about. Like Sweet and Salty said, there's also a dog in the bottom corner apartment that alerts. Heard it was the paramedics, Deborah said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard now. So
Yeah, Wayne, you're right. It is an absolutely contaminated crime scene. They even said that when the people, like it was the police first, right? They didn't even let the EMTs in first, right? Is that right? How did that go? Do you remember?
Me?
Yeah, you.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I was reading something.
What was the thing about the EMTs? The police went in before the EMTs, or remember?
I don't know. I think the police. From my recollection, I believe the police arrived first. I mean, but I could totally. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I wasn't prepared on those kind of questions tonight.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I would assume that like the police showed up first, but. Everybody's saying Ellie. Everybody's saying Ellie showed up first, y'all. You know.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's the general consensus in this community. If it was such a gruesome scene as they claim, there had to have been footprints all over. That's what I think too, Mountain Man. Like, where the heck? Like, okay, where's Dylan's? Where's Bethany's? There's gotta be footprints all over the house, right? Where's Ethan's? Where's Ethan's bloody footprint, or whoever died in the hallway, Xana? You know what I mean? Allegedly. I don't know where they really died. You know what I mean? I know what we've heard. Police, they secured scene, told EMT they weren't needed. So who pronounced them dead then? Isn't that the EMT's responsibility? Do you think? You're muted. You're still muted.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, well, like if they weren't needed, obviously. See, I don't think that's the case though.
I've never heard of that, because they put them in a body bag then?
If they didn't show up, how did they get the dang shoe footprint in there?
Yeah, and who picked them up? Just the coroner picked everybody up?
I don't know.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Now you got that's creepy. Like that's awful. So they just let them sit there.
See, now you're getting into
so stinky. Like that's the other thing. Remember? Okay, so
I know what you're gonna say.
Kat. Oh, do you think you know it? Okay.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Kat said, Kat, we have a friend named Kat from Australia, and she is a Aboriginal tracker. And she told me that if those bodies were in there the entire 8 hours, right, there would be animals all over like the outside of the house. There wouldn't be any like, hey, come over here, guys. Like there would be flies, there would be dogs, there would be coyotes, there would be fox. Whatever the heck's out in Idaho. I have really never been there. So yeah, right. Maybe they need to search for a one-legged murderer, right? Pete, what the heck? Pete just solved the case, guys. All hail murder, metal, mayhem. Yes, Pete. Yes.
That's funny. That's actually pretty hilarious.
Maybe it's true. I wonder if there are any one-legged students. Couldn't there be? In front of Dylan's door. Yeah. Yeah, that's where the footprint was, right outside Dylan's door. And I thought they originally said that it was a van shoe. For especially that they put blue tabs and removed the bodies. Then when no one was around, it was at the courthouse. I don't know. I feel like that's a job of an EMT to like, that's right, Pete. See, you got it. We all just need to find the one-legged guy. That's probably it. What if it is though? What if it is? Then everybody will be like, wow, that's crazy. Pete already knew that. They did van shoe. I thought the van shoe changed though. I mean, I don't know. Also, if anybody wanted to come up on panel, you let me know and you can talk to us. That would be really great because I like that a lot better than talking at you, because sometimes I miss like a lot of things. But I don't have context in today, so might not be so bad. Anybody who doesn't want to type and would rather talk, put your like a hand up or say me. There's the link right there. It's right in the chat under Marietta Rosser and M. Cause. So anybody at all. You don't have to feel like, they won't pick me. It's fine. Anybody who watches 1 minute of our video, they're welcome.
Hey, I wanted to talk about how the judge
Okay.
did not know what the cast report was, too.
Oh, yeah. He was like, oh, the car, right?
Yeah, I thought that was like...
That's weird.
That's very weird, but like, what the heck?
It's like he wasn't paying attention,
Yeah, he was probably thinking about YouTube.
What channel do you think he watches? You think you would really have to be selective if you were a judge to watch a channel. Like, obviously he's not watching the clown, not me.
Well, I mean, like if you want like an educated opinion, he probably watches like lawyer channels maybe or something, law.
Right, like Andrew
on crime or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yep. Something. I don't know.
And Laney Law, right?
No, I mean, I don't know, but that's not who I was talking about. But
oh yeah, there's lots of lawyers on YouTube actually. There is that do true crime. Okay, so let's see. I'm just trying to make sure we're. Yeah, he was thinking about Kopaka. Yep.
Yeah, I'll look at. I'll play that real quick. Watch.
The IDG, any of the information of the IDG to get the warrant, to get Mr. Kohberger's DNA, Mr.
Weird. Like, what about Mr. Kopaka? What are you even talking about? Where do you get that from? Weird.
And then like he was talking about like the video with the car, like, which he's talking about Linda Lane, obviously, I would think, right? What do you remember that part or no?
When he was talking about Linda Lane?
No, when the judge was like, "Are you talking about the car video?"
Yeah. And she's like, "No, I'm talking about."
Was the judge talking about the Linda Lane footage, though? Obviously, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where the footage would be from, unless they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought maybe I'm wrong. I'll come on with you guys. Hell yeah, Pete. Okay. So put that link one more time in there. Okay. Hell yeah, Pete.
I don't. Is it?
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. Just click that link. All right, guys. If you have not subscribed to Murder Metal Mayhem, please do so. You're missing out if you don't. Ego-free YouTuber. Pretty nice. Very decent person. Highly recommend him.
Okay, there he popped.
Hey, I see him.
You ready to come up, Pete? Yeah,
he is. There he goes. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Look, you're chilling.
Good.
I am chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird not being in the studio, but I've been watching you guys, and I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I'll come on. I've never done a live before.
Awesome.
Yeah. So do you want to ask Pete anything? Bob?
What's that?
Did you have anything you wanted to ask Pete?
Let me think about that. I probably do. Actually, okay. Now you had did an interview, or I'm so sorry. You did an interview with Brian's professor or something. I wrote something with her.
Catherine Ramsland, yeah.
Yes.
I've interviewed her twice.
Okay.
2019 and then 2020. So before all this, but we have some common friends on Facebook. So I was like, you know what the hell? I just sent her a message and asked her, and she was like really cool about it. I was shocked. I was like, it's called Murder Metal Mayhem. Are you sure this is cool? And I gave her a link. I'm like, you might want to listen to an episode. I mean, I just didn't want to get her all upset,
Right.
And she came back with, that's cool. I'm like, all right, like you've been warned. And so she was very nice. We talked about, she had 2 different books coming out. One was the BTK, the Confessions of a Serial Killer, I think it's called.
Okay.
That was one interview. We talked about that a lot. And I was on Andrew Meyer's channel. We did a recorded video together, but talking about that book and my interview with Catherine, and then interviewed her again about a book she did on spree killers. But yeah, she's super cool. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Now, on your show, on your podcast, you guys talk about a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, we do mostly solved cases on there, but we do, a variety of true crimes, a lot of serial killers. We've done prison escapes. We've did a couple paranormal trips. But mostly our bread and butter are serial killer stories, but solved cases. So that's why the YouTube stuff I've been doing, the 666 videos have been fun because they're current cases, so I haven't been able to do current cases on Murder Metal Mayhem, but doing the videos I've been doing, I can. So it's a lot of fun, something different.
Right on.
Yeah, there's a question for him on the screen. It says, can you ask him if he thinks BK's survey had to do with book?
That's a good question. Boy, I really wish Catherine would be cool with talking about this, because I know she won't. She's come out and said she just can't answer questions, and I have a feeling, I've been told she's a witness for the defense, which is interesting. But it makes sense, if that's the case, why she wouldn't talk about it. But I would love to know, because that book would have been, she's been talking to BTK for years. She still does. He calls her on her birthday. How creepy is that?
Whoa.
Yeah, imagine that, Bob.
Yeah.
You're just chilling at home on your birthday. It's like, hey, the phone's for you. It's Dennis Rader.
Personally, I would be like, hell yeah. But
yeah, I'd be like, man, that sounds like
hey, how you doing?
Yeah. So let me grab my my smoking gear. But no, that's a good question, because the timing would have been, she was writing the book while he would have been a student of hers. I don't remember the year it came out, but it would have been in that same time frame. So I can't imagine that he's not well aware of that book and has probably read it cover to cover. I actually looked through the book in hopes to find like a forward or something that thanked him, like for helping or something. Because how crazy would that have been? But I couldn't find it anywhere. And then there was one mention I think it was the Pennsylvania, when they arrested him, the stuff they got from Pennsylvania, I thought referenced a page in a book. And I looked in that book on that page, and there was nothing that I could see that would have been like significant. And obviously Catherine's written, I think, 75 books, but it was a stab in the dark. I've got like 3 of her books. I looked at all of them and it didn't seem to jive with any of that, but I'm sure he knew about it. Now, whether his survey spawned from that, I guess it's possible. He was a student of true crime, like all of us. That's what makes this scary. It's kind of like the West Memphis 3 for metalheads. You know what I mean? Like those dudes got arrested because they wore friggin' concert shirts. That's a bunch of nonsense, and death row, for one of them. So that's the kind of stuff that happened during that nonsense, the satanic panic and all that crap. And with him being into true crime, people of course want to make it out like that's such a terrible thing, but there's nothing wrong with following this. It's not like we're out doing it,
Right.
Well, that kind of brings me to Stephen for writing the books that he writes. So I don't understand why people in the true crime community and likewise in heavy metal culture, have to be treated like that, because it's nonsense,
Yeah. That kind of brings me to, I believe it was your new video. People viewing.
Oh, yeah.
What could have took place.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of the commenters on my videos putting that rumor in there about the pay-per-view.
Yeah, we've kind of heard it probably myself personally, like the last month, I think. I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same people. I don't know, but it's one of those things that's in the back of my mind. It's like, well, that's really out there,
Yeah.
But then when they were talking about the 400 witnesses, and then I saw an attorney on YouTube talk about that's the most ridiculous thing he's ever heard of, in the amount that there's never been that many witnesses, like this. So,
but a lot of these,
wonder what could have caused it, and maybe
a lot of these old time people don't understand, apps and new technology, though.
Sure.
Per se. I mean, they know it's there, but they don't necessarily know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it's very feasible. Now, I don't think the whole 400 were watching it. I'm going to guess if it even happened, it was a core group of sick individuals that these jerks hung out with, and they were the ones Venmo paying people and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's very suspicious. I mean, come on now. I mean, all these $6 payments, I mean, that's just absurd. And then the one woman that paid Jack Katovich's sister, Liz, the day before, and I don't know how Venmo works, but there's some sort of,
it's like the
memo. That's it.
Yeah.
The memo said 3:30 a.m. That was the night before. That was the day before this happened. So what the hell was that about? I mean, doesn't that seem very suspicious? I mean, but seriously, like, what did they pick? Like squares, like in a football game, like that. That's what I've had some people suggest in my comments, is that maybe it was like some kind of sick betting. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, these people. I mean, that place is like the damn Twilight Zone. I mean, I don't ever want to go to that place. I mean, like, I wouldn't trust anybody there. I mean, it's just spooky. It's weird, Yeah,
it's
too many weird things. And the fact that nobody has said anything, and apparently they all know what happened, that tells you something. That tells you those people are scared to friggin' death.
Yeah.
That if they open their mouth, something bad's going to happen. You got the police, all these people. I mean, I hate to be conspiracy theory, but God dang, I don't know what else you could say about it with this case, honestly.
It might be just Idaho, because they're so like secretive there. You know what I mean? Like, like the Masons, the whole, like the, was that what it was? Was that what it was?
Yeah. Freemasons.
They started there or something, or like,
I'm not sure.
It was something crazy. And
I did a video on Freemasonry because I used to be a Mason, and there's so much stuff that I hear about, and it's like every time like a suspicious case or something comes up, and they start bringing up the Freemasonry thing, and I'm just like, guys, I mean,
my point was like the secrecy of.
No, I get it. I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying like.
Everything's tight-lipped there is all I was getting to.
Yeah, it's a fraternal organization. That's what fraternities were modeled after, was Freemason.
And even like, Idaho, they don't even like want to put out body cam footage to people. They don't want to give that, the Freedom Act up. They're really bad, from what I've heard at doing, following that. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I was meaning. They're just like secret there. It's a big
be careful, Pete. You were a Mason. People are going to say you're Delphi.
Yeah, right.
They're going to be like, he's the man on the tracks.
Right. Yeah, but like my experience with Freemasonry, they were a bunch of senior citizens that ate ham and beans on one Tuesday and chili on the alternate Tuesday together. They were the nicest guys. We did all this charity work. The Shriners have the hospitals for kids. I mean, they've taken a hell of a beating in the media. So now, were there some nefarious things? Yeah, I mean, but all organizations, unfortunately,
Right. Everybody,
bad people, government,
Yep.
schools, you name it. I mean, it's all there. But
metalheads, everybody. There's
without
always
a doubt,
one. There's always a bad one somewhere.
And if you step away from Masonry, I think this is what they're asking. She said no, but there's a few questions you can ask to know if facts are true and see if they've stepped away from the organization. I don't know if she's talking about Masonry, but I think she is.
It sounds like it. I'm not really sure. I know I was in only for about 2 or 3 years. I got out of it because my kids were little, and it was taking time away from spending time with them, and so I just stopped going. But no, I was a Master Mason, which is the 3rd degree. So your local lodge goes up to Master Mason, and then there's a lodge. It's just like a hierarchy. Yeah. I didn't go beyond the local lodge.
Is there 12?
There's 33 degrees.
Well, yeah, that's right.
33 degree Masons are the Shriners.
That's right. Yeah.
But
they ride in the little carts, or
yeah, the little
the hats, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they do really good work. So
yeah.
When I hear that, because
I agree.
It's nothing more than that. Honestly, it's a way to network. It's good for business people. Back in the day, it was so common to be a Freemason that it was to say somebody was a Mason was like saying that they were a Republican or a Democrat. Like, it's just very commonplace nowadays. Probably not so much, but
right. It's got like a weird stigmata thingy going on. You know what I mean? Like
it does.
Thing.
Yeah, I used to play in a band, and we used to rent the basement of a Masonic lodge in the 80s. Ooh. And I was like fascinated with what exactly this whole Masonic thing was. And they told us we couldn't go upstairs. So of course, Bob, what did we do?
You went.
We went upstairs. And we went upstairs, and there's like this library, and we're looking at these books, and they were kind of weird. And so I just seen that comment. That's cool.
Yeah, I was trying to put that up.
Appreciate that, Heather. But we went up there and we're looking at these books, and it was just fascinating. It was just weird. We were teenagers. And then there was this big door that led to the another room, and I pushed it just thinking it would be locked, and it opened. And then it was their, I don't remember what we call it, like where they do their ceremonies and stuff. And there's these big chairs, and it's just real ominous looking. And it was just like, whoa. And then that was all I really had experienced. And then as I, got older and married and moved, and I was just curious about it still. So I called the local lodge and I asked them, like, what do you have to do to join that? Like, I don't know anything about this. And then, that's how it started. So it was more of a fascination. But while I did the 3rd degree is where I first heard the phrase low 12, and it means midnight. And or the last seconds of your life, which is what I thought was kind of cool about it. And that's why I named my band Low 12. But none of our songs had anything to do with Freemasonry. It was just, I liked the sound of the name. Like right
2 minutes to midnight.
What'd you say?
Sorry for talking so much. I don't know if you wanted me to talk so much.
Oh no, you're good.
No, you're good. You're good.
More than welcome,
okay,
man.
That's cool.
We love you on this channel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you seem to be having a lot of company on your channel.
Yeah, I've been interviewing. I got CJ. I'm doing CJ's interview Monday, so that'll be cool. And I did another today. I did another long form video. I started doing true crime deep cuts. I did a second one today with a blogger girl who's one of our members that comes on with me. And so we did Idaho 4. We did the frat boy theory stuff. So that was pretty fun. It goes about an hour, and that'll be coming out here this next week. So
I think
I've been busy.
Suspicious.
Yeah,
they're very suspicious.
Unbelievable. And like that 4chan stuff, I mean, everybody said it was kooky, but look how much stuff they got right.
Yeah.
You know, the Ethan's nickname, that David Baracoa's nickname,
Because we didn't know
all
that.
their nicknames, Maddie's. I know there was a derogatory one with Kaylee.
Kaylee.
They like it. They taught. When I read those, I thought they were real. I mean, like they read like they were real, and it creeped me out. But then when all that stuff was true, and then I did a video here last weekend, I think, about the fact that the 4chan post said that David Baracoa's dad worked for a professional cleaning business. And that made me wonder, like, boy, wouldn't that be a nice thing to have access to if you're going to try to clean up after yourself? And
Right,
so,
they could have brought chemicals with them too.
yeah, and I had one of the people that helps me do research. I had her check it out, and yeah, his dad worked only for a couple of years for a place in Boise that does professional cleaning. He was like a business advisor or something. But, you know, you have to wonder, could Barry maybe have worked there in a summer and learned all that stuff?
Ooh.
I mean, had access to it, you know, like his dad was not working there though at the time. It was right before that he went and did something else. But again, it just makes you wonder, you know, but the fact that the 4chan post was right gives it, I think, more weight. I mean, they got a lot of stuff right. And the thing that they talk about with the 19 minutes is what they said it took to get there and back and do what they did. And that Banfield video, that body cam was on for 23 minutes. That's awfully convenient that they happened to be on the Banfield in a they're 23 minutes, but the same exact time. That's why I wonder if they were the lookouts, you know, out there on Banfield.
Yeah, they said 19 minutes.
House.
Didn't they say 19 minutes, including the walk?
Yeah.
Right? Walk.
Right.
Keyword walk.
Right. We see 4 people running toward the Sigma Chi at 3:12, I think it is. And to me, that's who I think. I think there were 4 of them, and I think that's what the 4chan post said as well. 3 guys and a female is what the 4chan post said. Now, who knows who that is? Maybe a sorority girl, or, you know, who knows? Emma Bailey. I mean, it could be. Who knows? We don't know, you know.
Do you know much about the sweater guy?
The sweater guy.
His name is Hayden. Hayden.
No.
Is that who you're talking about? The one that picks up the girl at the grub truck, he like picks her up, and then she tries to pick him up.
Like a Charlie Brown sweater on type.
Okay, yeah. I did see something, but what's up with him?
Well, there's footage out there. There's body cam footage. It's hard to find. I've tried to find it, and I don't know what happened to it. Me and P have both tried to find it. I mean, we didn't try extremely hard. I'm sure it's out there, but there was a call, and it was the same guys from the undercover, you know, the Banfield footage, and they were called for a stolen sign, I believe, and they ended up showing it.
Yes, I did see that. That's when they left the Banfield. That's where they went.
Yeah,
cops went to that apartment, and the guy with the Charlie. Yeah, that guy was there.
And
that seemed very suspicious, you know.
Said he had a bump on his head, and he's like, "Well, when did you get that?" Or like,
he's like, "Oh, that's weeks ago, man. I swear to God."
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot about that with the bump, but
yeah, it's just strange. There's just too many like weird coincidences, and just like
way too many. Even the judge thing. I mean, like, I'm a writer, and I wouldn't even write something that corny in a story. I mean, it's like a made up, like a cartoon. Some of this stuff, it's insane.
Yeah.
That U of I is like a cult. I mean, and they've got that town in its grips. It's really disturbing. I mean, everybody pays homage to that Scott Green and that college. I mean, that's just insane. I don't know how he could ever get, a fair trial with a jury pulled from that town. I mean, that county even. They all work there. They are alumni, or whatever they do is in support of their job is in some way, shape, or form associated with that university. You know,
Exactly.
food preparation, whatever. The whole damn place has to have that university succeed in order to survive. And what is that? You know, that's just, I don't know how you're going to get a jury that's going to be impartial. I just don't.
Yeah.
It's weird. I feel like the town is so small that like the people that live there, they stay there. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't leave. Like that's their town. That's their church, the Christ Church.
Right.
Which is, that guy's weird.
I haven't gotten deep into that Christ Church, but I definitely would be interested because I've had a few people talk about it.
Yeah, there's some videos out there of him. You might have heard this, but it was pretty crazy. There's videos of him like burning, like driving a truck, I think, and it's like on fire. And he's like saying like the craziest shit. Like,
wow.
He said it was
like, how would you hide a body? Light it on fire? Like, it was just like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was pretty close to that.
The preacher of the church?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wow. I need to find out more about this fool because, yeah.
And like he's real rich. He's a badass. He does what he wants.
There was like every video that I saw of his, it was like catching stuff on fire and like saying like really like sus shit.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, but I have heard about the church, but I didn't know about this kooky preacher. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Do you remember his name, Pia?
I do not, but I could look it up real quick.
Okay. Well,
I'll do it right now.
You don't have to. I just thought
his name is in Moscow. Okay. So this dude's name is Doug Wilson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Doug Wilson.
Wilson, yeah.
I just beat you, Winseal. She just said it right after me. Yeah. I think it's the other thing that I thought was weird. I don't know if you saw our video. It was in 2 different videos of ours, but it was when Emma Bailey got arrested. And they said someone from Moscow was bailing her out. And then the cop behind the counter that didn't bring her in, he was like, I got this notification on my screen. I've never seen it before. And then he's like, the cop that brought in Emma was like, yeah, Brianna IM'd me. And I'm thinking, who the hell's Brianna, right? Not Office or something. Brianna. And then he goes, oh, she did? Do you know what it was about? And then the cop that brought Emma was like, and stopped. Like he did this knock on the table and they shut up. So I was like, wow. Yeah, who's Emma?
I did see her get arrested where she takes that stuff out of her backside and throws it in the garbage. I've seen that. I wonder if that's the same video.
Right? I wonder if she was stashing it in case she got arrested and put in there. And
I'm sure that's what she did. Yeah, she grabbed the tissue, took it out, and threw it in the garbage. It's like, God, you're so nasty. Like, come on.
No, it's so amazing.
Not giving a crap. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, a crap.
Unintended.
But it was so obvious, and like we've all seen it. So how I don't know, like a lot of people in that town get a lot of charges dropped and employment.
Yeah, because they're all informants. I mean, there was that huge drug bust a month after these crimes happened. I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
but some of this stuff isn't related to that. I mean, these people were, like you said, like Xana's mom, Maddie's stepmom. I mean, these people were on like serious drug charges. Then all of a sudden get these either light sentences or like probation. Maddie's dad did it was like 3 months or something like that for a felony. They knocked down to a misdemeanor.
It's so weird.
I mean, like they don't do that stuff just because they're feeling, generous.
No.
I mean, they want information.
And they're very conservative.
You had 27 major players in that area, that Washington, Idaho, and Arizona. 27 people, like big fish that they brought down with that bus. So somebody was giving up some information. So you had, Emma, Demetrius, I think A.R. Hayes and I talked about, this a couple times here recently that like a whole list of informants he thinks in this case.
Yeah. I agree. There was definitely a couple.
Yeah, I got a video coming out tomorrow morning about the fact that how is it in one house? You got 6 roommates. You got all that family in that mess of trouble. I mean, that's just weird. Like to have that many people. So it's almost seems like this was like they were put to, I don't even know. I mean, it's so weird, but it's like, were they supposed to all be there? I don't know. I mean, it's bizarre. It really is bizarre. But I think this is just another one of these strange coincidences, or maybe it wasn't a coincidence. You know, I talked to a police officer that I interviewed here just the other day for the podcast from Australia that comes on and talks to us when we do Australian cases. And he was like, there are no coincidences in my line of work. So he's all over this Idaho, Delphi. We talked about him, even though he's in Australia, but he's fascinated with it. And he's like, yeah, there's just a ridiculous amount of, coincidences here that it's obviously something going on. I mean, that's just not even possible. Delphi's even worse. I mean, Delphi's so far gone, it's not even funny, you know. It's terrible, but everybody's wrapped up in Idaho 4. But boy, Delphi is a trip down, Alice in Wonderland. I mean, that's just insane over there.
Yeah, didn't he just file for a speedy trial or something like that? Like the other day. The same day Brian did the Supreme Court thing. He appealed to the
I did hear something about that, but I haven't dug into it. But he's been, lawyers getting fired, then he gets his lawyers back, and he had that whole Odinist thing, and everybody was saying that, it's BS. And then they find out that there were prison guards wearing these Odinist patches, and
and then they had to take them off, but they put them back on, right?
No, they had to take them off, and then the one dude got it tattooed on his face.
Oh my God!
Right? I mean, like, what in the hell is going on over there?
He's like, I can't take it off.
People are whacked. I mean, like,
that's insane. Okay, wait. There's a comment that I want you to say something about. So it says, if someone wrote this as a story, people would find it far-fetched to ever be a good movie, but it's real life. So speaking of that, Heather, if you're not aware, I'll plug you, Pete. He writes stories. Pete actually does write stories.
Yeah, I got short story collections, novels. Did an illustrated novel a couple years ago. That's really cool, called Deeper Than Dead. But I've got a website, which is just petealtieri.com, and you can get the books there. I got free samples from every book, so you could read like a whole short story. My last book, Creation of Chaos 4, is a short story collection, and the free story from that book is called Chapel of Bones, which I think you guys will like, because in Europe, they've got these bone chapels that are literally decorated with the bones of the parishioners. It's like the people gave their life for their church and literally wanted to be part of it. And it's insane. And they got like these chandeliers, and this one in Czech, they have a chandelier made of every human bone. It's wild. But I thought, what would happen if like these 2 college kids just graduating college go on a European vacation, and they go to the one of them's into like the paranormal, and they go to one of these churches, and their plan is after everybody, they're going to hide. And then when everybody leaves, they're going to check out the places where you're not supposed to go. And as you can only imagine, things get pretty crazy. So, but that's a good one, Chapel of Bones. There's also some Murder Metal Mayhem bonus episodes I've done where I read my stories. So there's a few of those out there. If you like audiobooks, I've done a couple of them. I read all my own stuff. So, yeah, there's plenty of it out there.
Awesome. Okay, what do we got going on here? Where'd you go, Pia?
Sorry, I was touching the dog for a second.
Oh.
She needed her blanket. She's tired.
Did someone else want me to put the link in there? Is that what they were saying?
I'm not sure. I was trying to read it, but
yeah, I can't. My eyes hurt.
I can do it. Copy it, put it here. I wish that lady was here, or whoever was wanting to talk to me about my receipts.
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was lots
Do
of
you
fun.
get that too, Pete? Where's your receipts?
No, I don't get that.
'Cause we don't get receipts because we
I
don't
remember
know
what I was going to ask Pete here. Do you watch a lot of other YouTubers? Like,
yeah, I watch quite a few. I mean, when I decided to start really doing this, I mean, we've had a channel since we started the podcast in 2018, but we just never really did anything with it. And then I became semi-retired in October, and one of my goals was to try to see if I could make the YouTube thing happen. So I started watching different creators and seeing how they did it. And then, I've been doing Murder Metal Mayhem for 6 years now. So it's not like I didn't know how to do it. I just want to see what other people were doing,
Yeah.
And I came up with my own formula, came up with the 666 seconds thing and just went for it. But that was in December. So, but yeah, I was watching them for a good couple months before that. And I try to watch as much as I can. I mean, there's some days I'm really tied up and I can't, but I do try to watch as often as possible. I watch probably a handful of them.
Have you ever seen Grim Life Collective?
Oh,
You'd probably like him.
Yeah.
I think it's him and his girlfriend or his wife.
Wife.
He was a haunt actor. He probably been doing YouTube for like 10 years, but he goes to like different famous people's graves,
Movie locations.
I want to say, I can't remember the museum he went to, but it had like, what was it, Pia? What did it have in there that was like, it had like, oh, man.
Oh, I know. It was a museum, and in the basement, it was crazy. It had all different kinds of like, the thing I noticed was that there was that guy that like crazy pictures, Pete. Like there was a guy and he was.
Yeah,
and then there was a guy with a chair. It looked like he's gonna.
Oh, that's what it was. They had like these lamps that were recreated after.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was really cool, but he does like different stuff like that. I don't know if you ever get a time and you remember his Grim Life Collective. It's
look at Robert knows who it is. Baby Ghoul, he said.
Baby Ghoul. But
yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool channel. I really like that channel. But do you watch any other kinds of content? Because everybody's always telling me like, go to this channel, go to that channel, and I'm like, I don't watch true crime like 24 hours a day. There's other.
Yeah, I do. I watch a lot of true crime. I mean, that's here in the since I've been doing this. I mean, that's what I'm doing because that's how I'm figuring out or hearing about what's going on, So
yeah, you gotta.
That's been kind of like my news. I used to be really into politics and stuff, and it just was making me crazy. So I just don't even. I couldn't even tell you who's running for president. I don't even care. Because it's not gonna. There's nothing I can do about it. This is all a friggin' rigged fucking situation, and I just don't. I'm tired of it messing with my life. I lost friends over it. It's just
wow.
It's horrible. I don't even watch organized or professional sports anymore because they won't stop talking about it, bringing it up, referencing it. So I just shut it out, and I did really pretty absorbed in true crime stuff. I do watch, some comedy. My wife and I like Trailer Park Boys. We'll bust some of that out.
Yeah, we love that.
Things like that to break the, or we went on a Saw binge, and that was like we were laughing because we're taking a break from true crime, but we're going on a Saw marathon, watched all of them like over like a 3-day period. So
that's a crazy one with Chester Bennington in the beginning. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right,
I was like,
right.
ow.
So I do mix it up some, but I was getting ready to start writing a new book when this all started with YouTube. So I've got that on hold because I just don't have the time. But this summer I'm going to be able to start it. So I'm anxious. It's a novel, so I'm anxious to get back to writing a novel. Those are fun. Takes a while though, but it's very rewarding to write one.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's about a serial killer. Go figure. But yeah, it's about a guy who is a maintenance worker at a psychiatric hospital, and he finds this file like stuck behind like a bookcase he had to move, and he reads it, and it's about this patient that was at the hospital that escaped and was eventually, he went on a killing spree and then was captured and executed. And the guy's like obsessed with it, and he takes the file home because he's like really interested, and he's reading it. And then he starts acting like this person, and then he becomes this person, and he goes out and he does what he does. And then when he wakes up in the morning, he's got a tattoo of the victim on his body, and then it just keeps going. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So it's called Etched in Flesh, and I'll be starting that this summer. So yeah, so I take true crime stuff and I twist it around and make fiction out of it. That's why when I do a lot of my speculation, I'm thinking of it as a writer, like, well, if I was going to write this, like because when you write, at least the stuff I'm writing, I want it to be as realistic as humanly possible, Yeah. So I interview people, I talk to people, I do a lot of research even short stories I do research for, and I want it to be as real as I possibly can. And I've even learned a lot. I love the behavior panel here on YouTube. They do body language stuff. Yeah. I learned a lot about body language from them, and I've incorporated it into my writing. I wrote a story in my last book about Countess Bathory. It was a fictional story that she was set in, and it was when she was in her prison in her castle. And I thought, what would it be like to be a guard in that prison, like at night with her in there, And so I came up with this fictional story of a guard and her and a conversation between them. And I used the body language I learned from the behavior panel to help describe the scene without having to tell the reader what's going on. It's like twitching and like nervously tapping a foot, things like that I've learned now to incorporate into the writing to make it that much more gripping. And so, for all the people that'll dog, YouTube and stuff, I mean, the information I've learned from watching people on here is really unbelievable. I mean,
I learned how to like do shit on my truck.
Oh yeah, that's what I had to reset my gauge in my car, and it's like YouTube. There you go. I learned how to do it real quick. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, it is. I got a question for you. I did Pia's makeup tonight, and I did it in the style of The Crow.
Okay.
Did you hear about the remake of The Crow that's coming out? Well, yeah, it looks really bad, but for some reason I got on a Crow little kick last night on YouTube, and I was looking at no, you hadn't seen it, but you were watching it with me, and it was like basically it was like they were showing the comics, and I don't know if you're up on that story or into that movie at all.
Not really. I mean, I know what it is. I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I've really gotten kind of away from it. I think when I was following politics, I mean, so many of these actors I loved, after I heard the nonsense that they were spewing from their mouths, I didn't even want to watch them anymore.
Yeah.
Couldn't put it past it, and that's what I'm saying. It was really affecting me in a lot of ways. So I've since just backed away from it. But no, I'm not familiar with it. I know, that the movie exists. That's about all.
Well, the writer of that movie, he basically based it on his life. His wife was killed in a car accident by a drunk driver, and in the movie, like it's basically the crow is like he comes back to life basically for 2 days. And he has the 2 days to try to change like everything. It's a really crazy story, but it's like, I don't know, like if you look past like the whole like, oh, it's the crow, and like you look into the story, it's amazing. And
That's
like
cool.
the writer of the movie, like he like lived that, his wife died, and then if you know the story about the movie, the actor got killed
Right.
in the movie. He like
Randomly.
felt so guilty, you know what I mean? He had this huge guilt from his wife, and then this huge guilt from, it's just a really like weird story, but
That's
even like
interesting.
the movie story, the whole story is pretty cool. But
that's cool. Maybe
but
I'll
he's
give
like
it a shot.
he's like killing all these people that killed his wife, kind of thing. Spoiler alert.
I think my wife has the DVD, if I'm not mistaken. She's got a pretty extensive collection. She's a little more well-rounded than I am, but
And the soundtrack was pretty good too, actually, back in the day. You know what I mean?
that's cool. That's cool.
Anyway.
You're like, anyway.
Anyway.
You heard that new Skeletal Remains album yet?
No.
Yeah,
I have not even listened to the newest stuff that I've heard.
Judas Priest is good.
Judas Priest?
Yeah, that came out same day as Skeletal Remains on Friday.
Like
and Ex-Hoarder, Judas Priest, and Skeletal Remains.
I heard the new Ex-Hoarder. Actually, I heard that tonight when we were.
Yeah, with Pat O'Brien, which is super cool.
What did I hear? You ever hear of Coffins? The band Coffins? I heard they were coming out.
Familiar.
So we're gonna go see Chromax too, right?
Oh, cool.
No, we're gonna see someone else.
Oh,
Crowbar. We're gonna see
Crowbar. Oh, whoops! Why did I say that?
I don't know.
Both are good bands. I would see either. I think.
Right. But yeah, that new Judas Priest is unbelievable. I can't believe Rob Halford at 72 years old can sing like that. Sounds like he's 20. I mean, it's unreal.
When we saw Alice Cooper, it was the same thing. Remember, Bob?
Yeah.
Some Rob Zombie and Ministry.
Still holding it together.
I thought he was the best one in the whole show. It was like he was in his 20s. He was like acting, you know what I mean? It was all theatrical and perfect.
Do you remember? Did he have the snake on his?
Yep, in the beginning, yeah.
And wasn't his wife who's like 30 in his show or something too?
Yeah, she like wears this big Victorian dress, and he's like, "Isn't she lovely? She's mine." Yeah, so I googled her after, and I was like, "Dang, that's a big age difference." They must love each other very much.
Right.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to ask you. Oh, did you like the new Mortar Skull?
Yes, I loved it. I did a review of it.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell them I know them. I know Dave, the guy that plays guitar and sings.
Yeah, Dave Greger.
Super nice guy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was talking to they had a PR guy sent me it, and I was going to maybe set up an interview with him, but maybe if I get a hold of like his email from you, I could hit him up myself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The guy, I can't remember the guy. I've been getting a bunch of them from him. I get a lot of requests to do reviews. I don't have enough time to do them all. But when I listen to one that I really like that one, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to review this. So
yeah.
So I bet Dave will know me because I know they saw the post that I did with the review. So he'll probably know.
Yeah, Dave's who you want. Dave's like the original member.
He's the only original member, yeah.
Yeah,
he just did a 666 seconds of murder or of metal on Mortar Skull just this last week. We have the metal channel is at 666 seconds of metal, and people that are into metal can go there. We do reviews, we do interviews on there. And it's a new channel, so there's not very many subscribers. So we could use some if you like metal. Go check that out. But Mortar Skull, we just did it last week, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They've been around for like 30 years.
Yeah, 1990 when they started, which is nuts. And they've opened for like Slayer. They've opened for
And they played all over the world. Yeah.
bands. Yeah. So that's super
Dave
cool.
was actually a Marine, if you need a little,
That's
small
cool.
talk. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good to know.
Just remember, if you interview Dave, you're gonna have to like interject. You know what I mean? He likes to talk. He's very, very smart, but he
Well,
really
I'm
likes
an Italian from the Bronx, so
yeah.
good luck. Good luck getting a word in with me.
Italians are the best people, aren't we?
That's right.
Bob doesn't think so, but
What?
you
You just said that on air.
We were talking about being Italian. Pete, when he gets mad, he's like,
I
for
have no
Italian
problem with Italians. It's your Italian attitude that I got a problem with.
Yeah, it's just natural. We talk with our hands, we make good food, and we argue.
Well, I'm Russian, so hey.
Oh, yeah, that's scary combo we are.
I'm not going to mess with you then. You're Russian.
Russian out of here. I'm Russian right out of here. Get out of here.
Russian Canadian dude. That's what he sounds like. I think Bob sounds like he's from Canada.
That's funny.
I'm a Canadian
Are there
surfer.
Canadians in the chat? Because I wanted to ask you guys something. Because I heard that there's no Cash App in Canada. Is that true? Do you know that, Pete?
I'm not sure. I've never heard that, but I do the metal show. I do with a guy from Winnipeg. So he's got the real thick Canadian accent. So it's funny with me and him doing those together. So it's a lot of fun.
My favorite are the Australians, their accent.
Yeah, that cop I was telling you about, he's got a really, really pronounced Australian accent. It's pretty funny. And he's got an au pair that's from Texas. So he's been like fascinated with the accent and stuff. So it's funny.
Yeah. And I think
I interviewed him the other day. It's summer there. So he's like going to the beach. It was like weird,
He's like, I'm going to go surfing.
And it's the day before. I interview him usually Saturday afternoons because it's Sunday morning there, and it's like
smart
trying to wrap your head around it. It's like, can you give me the lottery numbers? Like, does it work like that? Who won the Super Bowl, dude? I'm going to go put a bunch of money on it. We laugh about it.
Tell me about the future.
It's just funny, but I'm doing a true crime deep cuts with him talking about DNA. He knows a lot about DNA in Australia.
Yeah,
is going through a huge DNA deal with their big lab in Queensland, I think it is.
Yep.
And there's thousands of cases that are now in jeopardy because of this lab messing things up. And we're going to talk about some parallels with Idaho 4 with the DNA and Othram. How did they turn that sample around in a day? What it says on their website, it takes 6 to 8 weeks. How did that happen in one day? How's that even possible?
Yeah, right.
We're going to talk about it, and that'll be one of my longer form videos.
Yeah, I think the Australian that communicates with us the most is that her name is Kat. And she's the Aboriginal tracker. And apparently in Australia, they got tracking down so well that like she said she can tell if somebody has stepped on a leaf or a species of animal has stepped on a leaf by the way the leaf looks or a blade of grass or even in the outback. And she's been doing it for like 30 years. And I'm like, wow.
That's wild. That's wild.
Crazy.
I see that question there. If I've ever listened to Lilac. Or Liliac. That's that band, The Family. I think they're all related. I believe that's who that is. I've seen a couple music videos. They did if it's the same one I'm thinking about, what caught my attention was they did a cover of Rainbow in the Dark. And the female that was singing it really did a really good job singing that as a female. And the younger kids were playing all the instruments, and the one son is older, and he's a pretty decent guitar player. But now they're older. Now they're like young adults. But I think that's who you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
just
it's more rock. It's not really my thing. But I think they do some originals now too. But they do a lot of covers. They're all over YouTube with the cover stuff they've done.
Yeah, I guess they're called the First Family. What did it say? The First Family of Rock.
Yeah,
from
that's
Atlanta.
them. Yeah, their dad managed their dad. I think their dad and mom, or just the dad manages them. Like it's a family thing. Yeah.
Wasn't there a band like?
Little.
Wasn't there a death metal band where like the dad was in it? Do you remember this? It was like
I'm thinking about Grindmother.
no. It was like a dad.
I
He like,
remember.
you know what I'm talking about?
Grandmother, though.
He remembers Grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he does.
Like,
But
I got a shirt.
I thought they were called Death Kids or something. I don't know what they were called. It was like 3 boys and their dad. And it was like in the 90s, and it was death metal. And I was like,
wow.
I keep trying to remember their names, and I'm like, I told Bob like
crazy.
a bunch of them, and I keep getting
I'll
them.
have to show you
Grandmother, yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's more funny though. Actually. Yeah.
Oh, it's a mom. It's a lady.
Grandmother. That's why they call her the
Whoa.
Grindmother. Yeah, that's why it's the Grindmother. Yeah.
Like Faction Disaster was kind of,
And like her grandson was in the band, so it was a grandmother and a grandson, and like some other dude. Like there's 3 of them, I think. It's pretty funny.
Is it 3 of them?
There's videos on YouTube about it. You have to check it out.
Yeah, I've never heard of that actually.
There was this thing where I wanted to watch the other day. There's like this artist that like pukes up paint all over the canvas. Like
Oh yeah, I've got one in my studio.
Of her paintings.
You're talking about Lance? You're talking about Lance, or are you talking about a woman?
Yeah.
There's a dude in San Francisco, Lance, who's in the band Schizo. He's the singer. He does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's
That's
his
crazy.
puke art. And he sent me one. I sent him, but we did an exchange. I sent him a book and he sent me the puke art. And I was like more fascinated that he did this, but it was gross at the same time. But it doesn't smell or anything because he like bakes it out in the sun. So it takes like, there's no smell. It doesn't smell like anything.
Right.
But when people come in the studio, you know, I got all these crazy serial killer masks, and then they're like, wow, what's that? And I'm like, that's puke. And they're like, what? You know, so it's more of a conversation starter in the studio. But the studio looks like somebody got hacked up with a chainsaw in there, blood all over the walls, and it's wild. Yeah, it's I've been wanting to do another tour of the studio video. I need to do it because I've added a lot. There's one on YouTube now, but it's when we first did it. But there's a lot more stuff in there now. But got like 12 serial killer masks.
Sweet.
Yeah. I just got an Ed Kemper the other day. That's been in my shot when I do videos now. I got 2 behind me, and the Kemper is the new one.
Yeah, actually, I did see that. That looks good.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah, Sick Rick masks. That guy's amazing. He's the one that I meant get him from, but he's really cool. I've got, you know, Jim Jones, I got Dahmer, I got Geen, Ramirez, Gacy, the Pogo mask, Eileen Warnos, Albert Fish, H.H. Holmes, Anton.
Oh yeah,
Anton
what was the name
LaVey.
of the guy we watched him interview? The killer.
Oh, that was who was the serial killer you
He
interviewed
drank
from
blood and
Germany?
stuff.
The vampire guy. What was his name?
Mavis, the guy who
He's French, right?
Yeah, maybe he's French.
Nico Clo.
That's it, Nico. Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed him. It's on the channel.
That's
We
crazy
watched
that you
it.
interviewed a serial killer. That's amazing.
Well, he was a serial killer. He only killed one, but yeah, he drank blood. He violated graves. Like he did some really warped stuff. And I asked him when we did the interview, I said, is there anything that's off limits? And he's like, no. So the guy I did the interview with, I told him, I said, dude, I said, it's not going to be probably ever again that we're going to get to interview a dude that killed somebody, drank blood, and violated graves. So we're going to ask some questions today.
Yeah.
Are you down with this? Because it could get rough, you know.
Dude, I got chills watching that shit. I was like,
he sounded really well adjusted and intelligent, though.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah, he's super cool. But he did 8 years. He did his time. I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
can't
what I was
believe he
thinking.
only got 8 years, but it's France. So what do you expect? You know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I was like, he did his time. I mean,
Yeah.
He doesn't seem crazy, like he's gonna go out and do it again, you know.
No, I don't. You know, I don't seem to get that feeling either. When we interviewed him, he was, you know, real laid back, super cool.
I remember him saying
It was
something like,
weird though, talking to him, you know, just because you know what he did, you know.
I can't remember who asked him. It was probably you, but they're like, "Why did you drink the blood?" or something, or he said like, "It made me feel powerful. It gave me power."
He liked the taste of it too.
Yeah.
He used to mix it with because it would get runny, I guess. So he would have to put like protein, like a protein shake, which made me just want to throw up. But there's one thing question I asked him. The guy that he shot, he goes walking around his apartment while the guy's like on the floor dying, and then he gets some cookies out of the kitchen, and he sits there and eats the cookies while he's watching this guy bleed out. And I asked him that, like, how do you do something like that? Like, how do you eat cookies while somebody's dying in front of you? And it was bizarre. I mean, it really
was just shut off emotionally, right?
Yeah, he was just like, it didn't seem like it really made like that. It didn't have an impact like you or I would, you know, like, you did what, you know, to somebody like that. I mean, it was just weird, you know. They just wired different, you know.
That was a good interview. It was really good.
I was super impressed. Like, a lot of people don't have, like, they don't want any not serial killer, but anybody who's killed somebody to like know anything about them. You know what I mean? It's kind of brave of you. He is in France, but he could take a plane. You know what I mean?
Well, sure.
Even Nico, man, like, just talking about it, you know.
Right.
But like, you know, he's got a whole damn business off of it from what I've learned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, cerealpleasures.com.
Yeah. No shame.
Oh yeah, and
he's written books about it. Like, I got his autobiography.
That's awesome.
And like, certain people feel a certain way about that, I'm sure, but
yeah.
I mean,
no, I mean, we did an episode on him, and then we interviewed him after the episode. Normally I do it before, but I really didn't think that I would want to talk to him. But then after we did the episode, I was like, boy, that was kind of dumb, because I know a few people he knows, you know.
Oh wow.
So I got a hold of him again through Facebook Messenger, like, hey dude, you know, and he was like, yeah, sure. It was just like, no big deal. He's got a YouTube channel. I haven't looked at any of his stuff, but he's got a channel, so under his name.
His real name?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. For a while, he changed his name to try to distance himself from it, but then he just kept coming back, and he's like, you know what? I'm just going to embrace it. I mean, that's who I am. And that's when he started the Serial Pleasures business and writing books, and he does art. His artwork is unbelievable. I mean, he's done some art with Issei Sagawa, the Japanese cannibal. They've done a cookbook, I think, together. They did a cookbook together and have done some artwork together. So, you know, it's messed up. It's messed up, but, you know, it's whatever. You know, like, if people don't like it, then don't buy the cookbook. You know, I mean, it just cracks me up how, you know, people act like, you know, I mean, yes, it's disturbing. I'm not saying it's not, but, you know, I could put it away after we're done. You know what I mean? But some people just get real hung up on it. You know, I don't understand it.
I think that he's not what he did. You know what I mean? For sure. It was a moment in his life, or a period of his life, actually, from what I understand. He was like a metalhead and like kind of like an outcast.
Yeah, very much so.
He just wanted to connect with people.
No feelings. His parents never hugged him, never said they loved him. It was just like a loveless upbringing.
Awful.
It is awful. You know,
I couldn't imagine that. I mean, we're both Italian. We've been kissed and hugged so much.
Oh God.
I love you, love you, love you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Imagine if that never happened. Like,
I can't. Yeah.
It's awful. Nobody should treat their kid like that.
No. So it's a sad story, really.
Yeah, for real. And I'm so like, I was like, oh my God, he interviewed somebody who killed somebody. And then it was like 1 minute after he started talking, I'm like, this guy is so smart. And he wasn't even what I expected. Like, I thought he'd be disturbed. He's not.
We got an autographed picture of him. He sells them on his website, but he sent me one of him in the morgue with a bone saw, and it's autographed. Nico with I think Murder Metal Mayhem on it or something like that. We got it up in the studio.
That is awesome. That guy's, I mean, it's weird to say, but like he's a killer, but he's
is a really good, he's a nice guy. I mean, I know he did some awful stuff, but you know, people can change, you know. Look at A.R. Hayes. He's another great example. Not obviously what did the same thing, but just saying that people can change. You know, they can come out of that and better themselves.
Exactly. And I don't think that's discussed enough in true crime, because people just assume, you know, like if you've killed somebody, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he would have got a lot more time in the U.S., that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. That's
depends
true.
on the state, I guess, right?
Well, because of his mental issues, they had like a diminished responsibility thing. That's why he got such a light sentence, because he had documented problems. So they didn't look at it quite the same as they would, you know, for somebody else. So.
Right. He got lucky, but I'm sure their prisons aren't. I mean, I've seen some shows, like I used to watch those shows where it's like European prisons and like the worst prisons in the world. And I think in France, I could be wrong, but they feed them very, very well. And I think they have like a little dorm room, you know, it's not like a cell. It's like they would be disgusted if they came to a cell in America.
Yeah, like, we've done some prison episodes. We did the Black Dolphin, that really wicked one in Russia up in Siberia.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
We did Sing Sing. We did Alcatraz. We've done.
Oh wow! I used to live right over
quite a few different prisons we've done. We've got a prison guard that's a buddy of mine that comes on anonymously. That talks about when we do prison episodes. And then this last week we had A.R. Hayes on with my buddy Tex. We did false confessions on the podcast this week. I've got the video of the segment with AR on our channel.
Oh, that's cool. I think I watched that the other day. I think I watched the intro of it. It's like you and then the other guy and then AR on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw like the intro to that, and then I think I was putting my makeup on or something. But yeah that should be really interesting, because he would know a lot about that. I'm sure he's met a lot of people who had false confessions.
It was a fascinating discussion, because one of the guys that co-hosts Murder Metal Mayhem, the podcast, with me is also an ex-convict. And so we had 2 ex-convicts, the prison guard, and then me and the other co-host, Chris. So we had this varied experience, because my dad used to be a parole officer. That's how I got into true crime, and you know, that whole bringing it up at the dinner table all the time.
Oh yeah.
So
it was natural then, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be like curious about it.
Cases. Plus, I was a little kid when Son of Sam was out, and I had grandparents that both lived in the Bronx. And I can remember having to come in at sundown because the Son of Sam was still out there. So that was my first kind of anointment into the true crime game. And then hearing about it from my dad. Yeah, it was. I was 10, so it was freaky.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you knew what was going on?
Well, yeah, it was all over the news constantly, in the 44 caliber killers, what they called them in the beginning.
Wow.
But you know, it was like when it got dusk, my grandmother would call us in because he was still out there, and he had killed. Few of his victims were in the Bronx, so that's where they lived. So it was scary.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I can't imagine being 10 and trying to like
Right.
even be anywhere dark or even in the light. You don't know.
Yeah, and in the Bronx at that.
Bob, are you going to show him? I know Bob's been waiting to show you something.
What? I don't know where it's at, but
Oh, dang it.
That show was awesome. I'm not sure which show he's talking about or she's talking about.
I think the one where
The Nico Clo one?
yeah, maybe. Mouse, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think he was. Let's see. Maybe I can go back. Nope, don't know. Mouse, but oh wait, there's one for you here too. Let's see. Did I get it? Nope. It's from Annie Ruler. You do a nice variety of topics.
Well, thank you, Annie. Appreciate that. I don't want to do just Idaho 4. I know that's what people want, but it's like there's got to be other cases talking about. I'm doing one on the Amityville, the body parts they found in Amityville, New York. So I'm doing that one tomorrow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That is.
That was on Long Island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy, yeah.
Long Island. But yeah, there's 2 different parks. They found like an arm here and an arm there. And then there's an apartment in the Bronx where they found other body parts and they don't know if it's related. They're trying to figure it out. It's like, wow, it's pretty wild. So
nothing in the harbor, just in the like on the land. I'm saying it was all on like in
it was in the 2 parks and then one apartment. They found a head and a torso and I think 2 arms. It's like really bizarre. It
doesn't sound like a New York murder. You know what I mean?
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
No. That's why my mom got us out of there. My mom begged my dad to get us the hell out of there in 1973. So we moved out, moved to Connecticut.
Oh, yeah. So. Smart move. Very smart move. Because it's just more and more dangerous. And in New York, they don't really they mind their business, Nobody wants their name on a police report. They don't have time.
Right.
Yeah. If it's not their business, it's not their business. Which is interesting, but I know it's very common. In a lot of places to be like that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, any big city, you're going to have a lot of craziness, like this guy here, Captain Spaulding.
Bob loves him.
Yeah, he's pretty whacked.
Yeah, I like him. It was sad that he died, but
yeah, it is. It is.
I wish Rob Zombie would make another movie that was good. I really would. I really liked his style when he did Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses. But some of the other ones, I was like, I didn't even want to watch that.
Yeah, I just wish he would do something with his wife not in it. I don't have anything against her. I just don't understand why every single time,
every movie. And it's always like a part that, well, it's not always, because when she was in Halloween, that was all right. But some of them, she just pops in. I think there was one where she came in with a horse, and I was like, oh my God, did you write this so she could come in with a white horse? Or she it's always been my dream to be in a movie with a white horse. I'm just saying, she gets to do whatever she wants.
Stop it, I'm going to mute you.
Okay. No, seriously though, don't you agree with that, Bob? That she kind of just gets thrown in there sometimes?
Yeah, I agree. She was in way too many of his movies, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I thought she was good in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, she's good. She plays a good role. It just, like I said, it's every time.
Who's a better actor?
Bill Moseley?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Why isn't Rob Zombie acting in the movies? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure he would be fine if he's directing everybody, but
who cares, Pia?
Okay, who cares?
Who cares about Rob Zombie?
Not me. Not me. I've seen him though. Have you ever seen him, Pete?
No.
Live? He what he does is he'll go. What? He the audience is singing everything is what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah, they're all
they'll be
going,
like,
yeah.
yeah. Because you put the microphone out, like put the microphone out, and then there's like explosions and there's girls dancing, and then like he puts microphone out. It's funny.
I only went to see Ministry, just so we're clear. Okay.
Oh yeah. Ministry was badass.
Oh, I'm sure they were. I've never seen them, but yeah, I like some of them. I'm not huge into the industrial thing, but there has been some Ministry stuff I like.
Yeah, I like their. I don't know if that was their early stuff. When it was,
they played a big variety.
Yeah, that whatever album Just One Fix was on, that's the era that I liked. Whatever that was, I don't know the name of that one, but yeah, I like them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like a lot of people. You didn't find it, Bob?
What?
Bob was looking for for.
No, I don't know where that painting went.
Aw.
I don't know where it's at.
Bob's a painter.
Puke
He wanted
art.
to show you one.
Your
What's
puke
that?
art. Your puke art.
Yeah, let me show you some of my puke art.
Oh wow,
Let-
you should
My
do some
puke art, bud.
Bob.
I get
Yeah,
all-
if you search for
electric lamps.
Lance Ozanic puke art on YouTube, there's a news story about it, and he talks to a reporter, and it's hilarious. The guy was on Judge Judy. See, Schizo, their gimmick is Lance, the singer, pukes on stage, and it's like colored, and
Whoa.
he pukes on people and stuff.
Was he on
and it's
Judge
like-
Judy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a woman took him
Weird.
to Judge Judy because she puked all over her dress. And he was like, but that's like what we do. Like, that's like our thing. And it was hilarious listening to Judge Judy like discuss this with this guy that pukes on the stage. I mean, it was pretty funny. I went through cancer in 2001. I was doing chemo, and he sent me a bunch of their albums and a DVD, and the DVD was all about the puking thing, and I was dying laughing. It was a great distraction from what I was dealing with.
You found it, Bob?
Yeah, do you want to watch it for a second?
Oh God, it's hilarious.
I want to see what he
Let's
looks
see
like.
what this is. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's an interview.
South Carolina, hello.
That's weird. Okay. It's quiet.
Yeah, this is it.
27-year-old Sadie Luke is suing heavy metal singer Lance Ozanic.
Lance Ozanic, I love this dude.
Lance says it's all part of his act.
And his bass player standing behind him looking all mean. You'll see him. It's hilarious.
It's so metal.
His conduct, which amounted to almost an assault on you, took place. You claimed that during that almost assault or attempted assault, he ruined your dress. You want to be compensated
Oh, you.
for the dress and for his actions. And Mr. Ozanic has an interesting defense, which he's going to tell me about in a moment. Tell me where you went.
She's gonna be like,
to see him
what?
perform.
I didn't actually go specifically to see him perform. My husband and I were out having dinner in the area.
Was this a dinner club?
Is that the bass
he was
player?
performing?
No, the bass player's sitting down behind
Had you ever
Lance.
heard of his band before?
He's bald.
Why don't you tell
You'll
me
see.
in your own words what happened?
We decided to stop into the club. It's
You
called
told me that.
Kohberger.
I'm past that.
So I went to the front of the audience where the action is to watch the band a little
Was
closer.
everybody standing up or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a rock band.
Okay.
And they're dancing and going crazy and doing that kind of stuff. And Mr. Ozanic extended his hand.
Oh.
He's so serious about it, which is what makes me laugh so hard because he's
to
being
me.
so serious.
And it was, you know,
Right?
almost a
He thinks
sweet
he's
gesture,
G.G.
almost
Allen, the
romantic,
other end.
like, you know, he's going to pull some kind of Elvis move.
So he extended his hand to you.
Mhm.
Was the stage raised?
Yes.
How did you get up on stage?
Worked my way on up.
What I'm asking you is there a step for you to get up or?
It's not that much higher. It's about that high. It's not that difficult.
Okay,
I
so you
just
sort of crawled up on the
I
stage?
kind of sat on the edge,
Sat on the edge and
swung
you got
my
up.
legs over. He helped me up.
What happened when you got there?
Well, he was kind of giving me this intense look by that point. He kind of got this crazed look on his face, at which point the audience started going
Oh, come on.
Oh, right.
really wild and crazy. At that point, I knew that something wasn't right and that this wasn't going to be the typical
He's like,
performance
well.
where, you know, you get swooned on stage.
Yeah, there's the bass
Swinging
player
music,
sitting in
were
the
they?
back.
No, they weren't. But you know, you kind of see a rough
He's
and you
laughing.
don't expect this kind of behavior.
I didn't hear any bad behavior yet.
This is
Oh,
the bad
here it
behavior right
comes.
here. He leaned over his shoulder, and as he was coming back towards me, he threw up all over the front of me.
You did do that, didn't you?
Yes.
Why don't you explain to me
Yeah.
why?
He's like,
Yes.
Sir.
I'm a singer for a heavy metal band. We've been doing this for 2 decades. There are posters all over the nightclub showing people exactly what we do.
Vomited on plaintiff. It
Show
said
me an
underneath
example of a
his
poster.
name.
It's my notes.
There's about 10 or 15 of these posters.
He's laughing. He's like, okay.
Oh, come on.
This doesn't
They should have showed it. Oh, okay.
notice that
I was
they
gonna
were
say they should have
assaulted
showed
by you,
him.
sir. This shows that there is somebody, some woman wearing a mask, and you're holding on to her breast, and some goop is coming out of your mouth. But that wouldn't certainly suggest to me that you were going to do that to me. Looks like somebody who's part of your act. Nothing gives you the right to assault a stranger.
It wasn't an assault.
Yes, it is. Whenever there is an unauthorized touching, there is an assault.
It's a
I
compliment.
extended my hand out. I brought her up on stage. She knew exactly what was going to happen.
How do you know what she knew?
The crowd was going crazy.
How do you know what she knew?
Because she didn't run away until I puked all over.
Well,
What?
that would be a normal reaction.
We
Why should she run away before you assaulted her?
if she would have seen the posters, should have known. Would have talking. We'd be around
It's like everybody knows I'm a puke.
Of course.
They come as a major shock
How could
to
you
I've never
not?
heard of you. I have never heard of you
We're an
or your
underground-
Looks like he has to puke right
you
now.
or your group. I don't know if you have you heard of him or his group?
What's the name of the group?
What's the name of your group?
Schizo.
Schizo.
Can't say that.
And you know, I am not a music
I totally looked at him
aficionado.
like he might.
Officer Bird is a music aficionado. And if he's never heard of you, you are not necessarily a household name, sir.
Judge Judy continues.
Wow.
And you
Oh.
invited me on stage. I might have thought that I was going to dance around with the group. I certainly would not have assumed at all that I was going to be on the receiving end of your influence, sir. So I think that it's disgusting. I think it's despicable. I wouldn't go
He's like,
visit you. I
what?
wouldn't go and see you. And I certainly, sir, don't think that this is something that she should have
He's like, wait,
expected
what?
when
He's
you
gonna throw up
invited
right
her up
now.
on the stage, which you did. You invited her up on the stage. Your answer is sort of different. Your answer, Mr.
Like, yeah,
Ozanic,
the
says
puke on her.
that she came up on the stage, but that's not true because you acknowledged that you extended your hand to her and you invited her
But
up
he
on the
come
stage.
here.
Your throwing up all over her is an assault, sir, and she is absolutely entitled to her damages, which she seeks of only $500. I would have asked for a lot more. Judgment for the
He's like, I
plaintiff,
charge money for that.
$500. That's all. Thank you.
You see him? He's like,
People know
what?
When they come up on stage or come to my concert, they know that they're going to get puked on.
I'm a musician and I have been to a lot of concerts, and that's not what goes on.
You want me to demonstrate? It's not that
You want me to
hard.
demonstrate?
Demonstrate it. Come
Was
on.
he assaulting him in return?
This is the
It's
first
gonna
time
be-
anything like this has ever happened, and I don't know if there's going to be any more after this.
He doesn't know if there's gonna be any more after
He
this.
actually asked me here just recently, that guy Lance, if I would write his biography. And I was like, dude, if I wasn't so busy, that would be awesome. But
That's
I
funny.
just don't have the time. But yeah, I was like, man, that would be
You're
fun.
like, how many colors did you puke?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, if you paid to fly me out to California to hang out with you
Right.
for a while. And
Right? It's got to be authentic material, right?
that's
I just
right.
want to say I chose that particular clip because I didn't want to watch anyone puke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't want to see it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
crazy.
I mean,
How
I
old?
did, right?
he goes
I-
to a doctor every year to make sure he's not hurting himself, like physically, from doing it.
Acid in his throat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the DVD. They show him going to the doctor, and the doctor's talking to him. It's pretty funny.
He could do like he could open up for David Blaine. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you
Frog
go.
thing.
There you
Have
go.
you seen that? That guy's creepy too. I don't know
Yeah.
what's with him. Like I could not put a frog in my throat. I don't think that's fake.
Yeah, that would be gross.
It is. He's done a lot of creepy stuff. I think he's interesting, but those two should hang out for sure.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? They would have a lot of fun together. Maybe he would put a different animal in his throat.
Hey,
So
watch
how many
this.
people you guys got on here?
I have no idea.
92.
Ooh, did you get him? Oh no, you've seen it here, guys. You gotta be like,
the
oh,
Illuminati.
Illuminati, yeah, because you were a Mason, so we
That's
know.
right.
Now you're Illuminati, you've graduated. That's why you quit. You were like, nope, I want bigger and better things. Now I'm gonna be Illuminati.
Right.
Yeah. So we have 90, 88. Okay.
88. People are dropping. People are dropping like
Oh,
flies.
shit.
Just kidding.
Shit. No, they're not. They're tired. That's probably what it is.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
It's been almost 2 hours here, bud.
I know.
Yeah,
I wanted to see if somebody else wanted to come up. Somebody said they might come up, but I was waiting.
Well,
and I was looking at the chat and I forgot their name.
I'm gonna give Pete one of these. Since
Oh shit! He's never been on a live before, so there's no way he could have seen it.
Everybody feels the pressure of this. I don't know why. I think it's hilarious.
Everybody knows what's gonna happen, right? In
you
chat.
can either take it as a joke or take it as I got to get out of here. But there you go, bud.
Boom.
Oh
shit!
There's the timer.
All right.
Pete's wife's like, "Fuck yeah."
So that means I got to that's when I'm out of here then at the end of this time.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Well, I had a
lot of fun talking to you guys. It was good.
Heck yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I'm
going to do some lives on my channel eventually. I just haven't worked on the schedule yet, but yeah, I'm planning on doing it.
Oh my God. I've seen you been so busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me and AR Hayes are going to do a live. Me and Lucky talking about doing some. So
that guy's awesome.
Collaborating. And with you guys, I mean, that's why I jumped on. I saw you guys were on. I thought, what the hell, so.
Oh, look at that. Look.
There he is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Your ears were burning, AR.
AR, you just missed it. We were watching this crazy guy on Judge Judy. Hey, how many true crime people put Judge Judy on?
Right.
That's original.
At least they got to hear some stuff they probably wouldn't have normally heard without.
I can't believe that.
Yeah,
that was real.
Thank you.
That's a real guy.
Yeah, Lance.
So, it's different colors, right?
Yeah, he drinks like a shake type stuff before they go on. That's how he does it.
Yeah.
And, he's got a thing. It's like a
basically food colored
blower. It's a leaf blower with a funnel. And he turns it on, then he pukes in it, and it sprays it out. Yeah.
Way worse than Guar, way worse than ICP. That is not a good show.
Yeah, we opened for Guar back in Low 12. That was pretty wild, but
oh really?
Yeah, it was fun, but yeah. I would
Guar like shot shit out of the end of his dick and shit. Like that was like extreme.
Yeah, that's what Guar did though. Like I didn't know that when I first went, and I was like, what the hell? And there was all kinds of dudes in there like, what is his name? What's that main dude's name? Dang it. The main guy in Guar.
Oh, which one?
The guy that died?
Yeah,
probably. Maybe. Yeah. What was his name in Guar?
Or
yeah.
It was someone they were like, I want so and so to all over me. And I was like,
oh my God.
What? All these guys. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, come on. We went to the front of the stage and I was like, ew. I'm like, what is happening? And I expected them to be way heavier, but they were so talented. They all went to Juilliard.
They were really talented. I was surprised at that too, because I didn't listen to them. I knew who they were, but our drummer was like really into them, and I just was like, I always thought it would be stupid, but when I saw them play, I'm like, man, these guys can actually play. Like it was pretty impressive with all that stuff on. It
was like they're dumb.
Yeah, they
to the meat grinder, whatever.
They went to Juilliard. Did you know that?
I think, something like that.
Yeah, which is a really prestigious school. If nobody in chat knows what that is.
Yeah.
Is it New York?
Norman got it. It's close to that.
Oh, Otis. It was Otis.
It's not Otis. Otis.
Wow, Norman.
Mungus or something like that. Or it was very close. I don't know, man. I smoked too much weed today.
Oh, come on.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay, Bob.
I totally hung up on somebody. What did it say?
You hung up on her last time. You were talking into your phone app and it didn't see the time. I kept talking. Tommy came in and I was talking to him, no response, then realized, okay, Sunny Spirit, you want to talk again? We'll make it up to you. I think Bob was, oh, you know what? It may have been when that person came in, Bob, and you like stopped the chat. Do you remember? There was a bad person in our chat, and you were like, wait a minute. Oh, I know what it was. Somebody came in and they were like, WSU Kim, where's your receipts? And they were totally all being rude to her. And I promised her that there would be no rudeness in our chat. And whether she's a real person or not, you know what I mean? Like still respect her as a person in the chat. And so was that it, Sonny, when Bob was like, hold on, because he kicked like 3 people off. Because we don't like that.
Yeah, I had somebody named WSU Mom Kim.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
up as a member on my
too. Yeah,
channel.
Yeah,
I was like, so, is that really her? I don't know. You know,
I don't know either. But she's on our channel too. She's a member. That's interesting.
It's really her.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd love to talk to her. I don't know if she does. Does she do interviews?
She said, well,
I know she has,
and the ones that she has done, they're very rude to her. They'll be like, oh, we're going to respect you. And then she comes on and they're like,
wow,
where's your receipt?
I sure would be. I'd love to talk to her. So if she's
you would be respectful. I know you would
hold me. I'd love to do an interview with you, and I would not be disrespectful at all.
No. I know you wouldn't at all.
No.
She's like, whoever she is, like, all I can say is like, and maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but whichever's great. And I would love your thoughts, but like, we can't debunk anybody or anything. Like, it's so rude.
I mean, that's what she's claiming is her daughter, had this experience and all that
it's true.
Like, I mean, it could be true. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I got no reason to doubt her,
Right. Like, what's it going to hurt if we believe it's true? I would think, like, if it is true, oh my God, she's brave. I don't even show my face. Like, she's going to talk about it. Like, there's a whole 2 towns full of people who don't want to say a word.
Right.
We should be grateful somebody wants to step forward.
Yeah,
and if
that's the truth.
Right. I don't have any reason to doubt her. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
I would like as much first-handish kind of information as we can get.
Right.
Because I've heard lots of rumors like that $6 thing you were talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Steve G. Jr. saw that. Well, if Steve G. Jr. saw that, person who said that to me, Steve Sr. would know who did it then.
Yeah.
Right? So I doubt Steve Jr. saw it because he would at least tell his dad. He would say, you don't want to see it, but it was so-and-so.
Right.
Where the person looked not or did look like Brian Kohberger.
Right.
Because I don't know if Brian Kohberger did anything.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I'm on the fence.
I assume not, though.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I lean toward I don't think he did it, or at least he certainly wasn't alone. But I
my thoughts exactly.
He didn't have anything to do with it. But we don't know. That's the thing.
The thing that bothers me is the reason people think that he's guilty. Like, it's weird. It's like, no, he knows how to do all this stuff. That's why he's the killer. But guess what, guys? He's either dumb or he's smart. So if he's smart and he's in his PhD and you're like, he could trick people. Well,
yeah, but it's one thing reading it in a book and it's another thing doing it. I mean, I don't care how much you want to read about something like that. If you've never done a murder, let alone 4 of them in one night, I mean, that's just, I mean, AR's talked about it. People don't do a crime like that first out of the box. I mean, that just doesn't seem believable at all, to me.
And if he is smart, though, and he could deceive us, right? Well, then how come he didn't deceive a camera? And how come, you know what I mean? Why do you use his own car? That's stupid.
Yeah. If he's smart enough to only leave a skin cell on a knife sheath, supposedly, he's sure as hell not going to circle the block 3 times, make a 3-point turn, use his own car. I mean,
noticeable turn.
It's completely absurd.
It is. That's why I'm saying, like, it's like people got to believe he's either smart or that he's not smart. Because if he's not smart, okay, then that's him. But how did he get all the way to a PhD? And if the person's in the chat that thinks I said he studied forensics, I said cloud forensics, guys, which means cloud forensics means if Brian was amazing at cloud forensics, he could hack probably right into there and take his footage right off. You know what I mean? Like if he knew how to hack into things and he knew all this computer and all this IT on a cloud basis, that's kind of complicated. You know what I mean? He can get in.
I think he ended up on the police radar there in Pullman when he interviewed with them. My gut is that in the interview, he said something that kind of weirded them out because there's a bunch of skeletons in the closet over there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Video on it. A bunch of people getting busted, cops for doing really bad things. And my gut is when they interviewed him, I think that he said some stuff that maybe they were worried we don't need a guy like this, you know, snooping around in our business kind of thing. And personally, I think that's how he ended up on their radar. Then he interviewed in Moscow and didn't get that job either. Same type of deal. So he either did it in both interviews or one or the other, but I think that's how he ended up on their radar. He was just kind of the perfect patsy, you know, he was an outsider, lived alone, liked to drive around at night. I mean, that may have come up in the interviews, you know, that he did for the police, you know. That could have been how they formulated who would be the perfect fall guy. I mean, it sounds crazy and you don't like to think of conspiracy stuff, but this thing just drips with it. I mean, I don't know how it's
like the other thing is, like, didn't you hear like early on, because they're really not showing a lot of people in Brian's defense, but there was a guy and he was like, yeah, every time I wanted to run at night and I didn't want to go alone, I would run with Brian. Like I always thought he was a nice guy. So somebody who runs all the time in the dark wouldn't be parking their car right in front. Do you know what I mean? He could run.
That's what I said in a video the other day is, I mean, a guy that could run like he did could run from Pullman to Moscow and back
quicker.
And well, I mean, it wouldn't have been quicker. It wouldn't have seen him. There's all kinds of bike paths. I looked online. There's like crazy amounts of bike paths in Moscow. And
do they connect?
One that connects Pullman to Moscow.
Oh, wow.
You could have either biked it or ran it and wouldn't have even need a car, you know.
Right.
And I know it was cold, but I mean, if you're out running, as you know from being in the Army, you know, you're running, you're fine. It's when you stop running that you're cold, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could have run there and hung out and chilled out and then did that, changed his clothes, jumped and ran back and nobody would have seen him, you know. So that's to me more realistic. But honestly, when you've got Sigma Chi that close and a bunch of angry people over there and people running across the band field and all that other nonsense, I mean, Occam's razor, the most simple is usually the right way. And there's a bunch of people within walking distance of that place. Why in the hell's the guy got to run 7 miles or bike or car? You know, it just doesn't seem to make any sense. It really.
And why was Saeed giggly like that? And why was he running up? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right behind the cop. He's
that
like,
whole Banfield thing to me looked staged. Those three guys do not look drunk
at all. And they didn't even breathalyze them.
It was just really weird. Like they were like distracting the cops or the cops were trying to distract them. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but it was just the weirdest exchange.
Yeah, he was like, no, you did drink. And they're like,
yeah.
Okay.
And then that one cop shines his light into the body cam as if he's trying to shield us from seeing it. And then it's right after that you see those 4 people running. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff in that Banfield. I did a video on it. I've seen it before, but really watching it the other day, I was like, this is crazy how much stuff is in that one video. 22 minutes.
Yeah. And the video itself is like strange. Like, were they using like was that actual tickets? I didn't really get to see that close, but like, it looked like they had like paper, you know what I mean? Like they were taking like paper And then there was no police radio in the car, right? Like that was odd.
Yeah,
and they're wearing blue jeans. Like, okay, so you're using a hybrid car. Where's your uniform? You know what I mean? And they didn't have any alcohol.
Undercover, but I don't know why you'd be doing that.
He said those kids were stumbling all around. Those kids were like way ahead of him, and they thought maybe they were getting rushed by frat. You know what I mean? Because he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were real." The cop's like, "Well, how many fake people do you see?" But I understand what they meant. They were like, "Thought you were messing with us." You know, they're freshmen. It was right around rush. Go ahead, Bob.
Do you, Sunny Spirit wants to come on? Do you want to take a break and Pete can jump off if he wants to? We've been on.
Yeah, I got a couple things I got to do. We jumped the clocks ahead tonight, don't we?
I think it's tomorrow, Sunday.
Tonight.
Today?
Tomorrow. Well, tomorrow at 2 a.m.
Never ask a clown anything.
My wife said that. I thought it was early. It seems early to be changing.
Yeah, but it is. It's probably tonight. Yeah. Then I probably just was thinking do it in the morning or something. My phone does it.
Right. Our phones
tonight and then back on in the morning. It'll be right.
Right. There you go.
Sonny, I know you can hear me. We're gonna take a break real quick, probably like 2-minute break, so we can just
go to the bathroom
and everything, and then we'll be right back with you and everything.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Pete.
We love your channel. Be in touch with us.
Thanks. We will. See you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yep. So we're gonna take a 2-minute break. Please don't leave, guys. Please, I just have to go to the bathroom so bad. You guys cool with that? Or is that cool? Just 2 minutes?
It should be all right. I mean, if not, we've been on 2 hours, but I'll just throw some music on.
It was like, bye, just kidding.
I'll throw some music on and then throw on something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I put this on. Put a little bit of song.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
Put a little bit of song.
Oh, thank you for the birthday wishes. And if anybody sent money to the Cash App, we appreciate that too. Okay, we'll be right back. Time us. Thanks, babe, I said. Okay, so what happened to her? Dang it. All right. Anybody want to come up? I guess that person I don't know. She's gone. Somebody was going to come up, and we said we were going to be 2 minutes, and she couldn't wait, apparently. So, oops, he just did it too. So I posted it, and Bob posted it. There's a link right there. If anybody wants to come up, anyone at all, you are welcome to. If you're nervous because you don't want to show your face, you do not have to show your face. It's just like right when you sign in, you either turn on your camera or leave it off. You know what I mean? I thought it was over that gummy. Oh. All right. So, all right, Bob. Okay. Brian, can you take that off the screen, please?
Okay.
Thanks. Strange, can I come up for 5 minutes? Yes, you can. Just click. There was a link up there, Robert. You just shoot. Yeah, all we ask is no politics, no religion, and everybody knows about everybody else's true crime channel. You don't need to advertise it. You know what I mean? It's all good. But Robert, who wants to come up, his channel though is True Crime Cult. Check it out. It's a good channel. I think he's been around probably maybe a little longer than us. I could be totally wrong though. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Not too much. How you guys doing tonight? And happy belated birthday to you, Pia.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What did you want to discuss?
Well, the video I dropped today, I don't know if you've watched it yet. I took a virtual tour of the house inside, and I also did a satellite view of the house, and you can see exactly how close Inan Harsh lived to the house, how close the Queen Road Apartments was. Now inside the house, you can view it during the day, and there's also a little thing in there where you can view it during the night, so you can see exactly what Dylan supposedly saw that night. And it was so dark in that house, I don't think she saw what in the eyebrows that night.
Because she doesn't know if she saw any eyebrows that night.
Yeah, because where her room is right off the staircase going up to the 3rd floor, and the vantage point that she has, all you can see is a dark hallway going towards the sliding glass door.
Oh, the sliding glass door in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Weird.
And the angle of the latent footprint is aimed towards the sliding glass door. So she didn't see no eyebrows that night. She saw the back of the person's head.
What'd she say about the back of the head? Did she say like the dark hair or bushy?
No, she said bushy eyebrows, but how dark it was in the house, and even with that good vibe sign, it wasn't letting off very much light.
Yeah, that's another weird thing. The good vibes, where was that at? In the hallway?
Yeah, that was actually in the living room area.
Oh, okay. Because what I was talking to Bob about the other day was weird. That remember when they were showing like Kaylee's computer in the window?
Yeah.
I thought she moved out. So why would her stuff still be in there? Why would her computer be there and on? You know what I mean? That's weird. I wouldn't leave my computer behind. Would you?
Chair have no blood on it?
Yeah, and why would her chair have no blood on it? It's so weird. All the details that I've heard, they're like all conflicting of like, you know what I mean? It's like the goriest thing we ever saw. And then like when they brought stuff out, what did they bleach it first? I don't understand. You know?
Yeah, I know that's weird.
Where was all the blood? When the house came down, I didn't see walls stained with blood. you know?
Yeah. Now,
I didn't.
you really ought to check my new video out. It'll give you some insights into some of the stuff I've been trying to debunk with Dylan.
Well, where does you said Inan lives like up the hill to the, like on the side of the house, right?
Yeah, he lives over there in Queen Road Apartments.
What do you think about him saying that he like didn't know about it if he's like right in the view of it? You know what I mean?
Well, here's I did a little research into Inan. 2 days after that interview that he did with that Matthias chick, he left Idaho and went to San Francisco.
Because he's a chef, right? Yeah. I think it was some chef job, right? Or did he just go there?
He just went there. 2 days after that interview, 2 days after that interview, he split Idaho for a while. And this was before Brian got arrested.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how that's possible, right? Like, okay. Well, what do you think about it then?
I think Inan knows more than he's letting on.
Yeah. Yeah, because he like it's weird. I was saying before that like he will say something and write something online that's conflicting with it. And that's why I think he's like an unreliable source. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if you look at Papa Roger and then you look at Inan's Reddit page, which is I data when you sleep. That's the name of Inan's handle on Reddit is I data when you sleep.
That's weird.
What is that? Yeah, apparently he's going to Pullman University for data analysis class or something. But if you look, that's what I've been told.
He did. Because he's like 30, isn't he? Like 30?
Yeah.
Weird.
But if you
like
look at
everything I find out about him, it's weird. Like every single thing, it's weirder.
If you look at Papa Rogers or Papa Rogers Reddit, you'll see some inconsistencies with grammar on the Papa Roger Reddit. If you look at Inan's, it's the same way.
Yeah, I don't know. And he was like a knife juggler or like a right?
No, like a fire baton or something.
Like a fire dancer. I don't know what the heck they call it. But like I don't know, like LARPers do it and like, right? Like you dance with like fire, like fire sticks. Yeah, that's right, Bob. Fire sticks. Hippie stuff, you know? Like, kind of like a hacky sack, but like with fire. Yeah. And he does a lot of weird stuff. And he like started a clothing line, I guess. Like it seems weird that like everybody tells me for this case to like, thanks, babe. Thank you. To follow the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's weird because everybody involved in this case is making more money now since they died. Like the victims' families are making money, and the university's made a lot of money. But there's no. The strange thing to me is like all this money is being distributed all around, but like. Brian wasn't even offered bail or anything, which I find really strange.
Really odd and weird.
Yeah, because his DNA is on a knife sheath, allegedly fine. Well, who said that the knife sheath is the weapon? Or the knife is? Like
yeah, because if you look at that now, if you guys go back and watch the video I did today, you can see where the knife sheath was laying compared to where Maddie's body was. The knife sheath was at the foot of the bed, and they said it was found next to Maddie. So how can it be next to Maddie if it's at the foot of the bed?
Right, and what does that have to do with her? You know what I mean? Like it's at the foot of the bed. And the other one I heard was that it was like under her, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, how'd you get touch DNA under all the blood of this the most gruesome murder that they've ever seen? You know what I mean? Yeah. Where is it? Where's the blood? I'm not trying to be gross, but I'm trying to be like real about it, you know, like I didn't see it. I didn't see any blood. I'm not even on the mattress, right?
Yeah,
I did.
from what it looked,
There's-
from what it looked like, it had mattress covers on the mattresses when they were taking them out.
I've seen like shots of
Oh,
where they said it was a body. I just saw the updated tour of the house, and it's like all the information changed. Like they were saying Ethan was on the bed and Xana was on the door on the floor.
Yeah, they change it around.
I'm so confused now. I don't even know what's what.
Yeah, see the one I got. It has three speculations where Ethan was found, where Xana was found, because they said he was on the bed, and then you see the other speculation he was found in the hallway with Xana behind him on the floor.
I mean, that's what I'd heard. He was like they had to kind of push him out of the way to open the door or something.
Yeah.
I
don't think Dylan saw anything that night because of how dark it was in that house. She couldn't see bushy eyebrows from where she was standing.
It's a weird thing to describe too. It's weird because like I think people assumed he's wearing a ski mask, but then they were saying it covered his mouth and his nose. So like
the last thing
wasn't
I heard
it like a COVID mask, right?
Yeah, it was a COVID mask.
Yeah, not like a mask. Like, and how could you? I don't know. Like whoever that was, if they were wearing a mask, allegedly, they must have had a hard time, or they must put it on afterwards. Because I would have been. I mean, I can't even breathe in those things.
Yeah, I hated wearing those things. Half the time, I wouldn't wear them.
Yeah, I would get like anxiety. I was like, for some reason, I like put the mask on. This sounds so silly, but every time I put a COVID mask on, for some reason, I want my mouth open. I don't know why that happens, but every time I put it on, like I'm like under the mask. It's weird. I'm a weird person. Yeah, I don't know. Sunny Spirit.
We're all weird. I think we're all weird at some point.
Yeah, right. I'm serious. Like if anybody in this chat thinks you're not weird, it's because nobody told you you're weird. Everybody's weird in some way. I think. I don't know if that lady's back. Somebody was addressing her. Sunny Spirit was that lady. She said in the private chat, she said she would like to be the fourth. She doesn't want to go up by herself, but she wants to contribute. That's totally fine.
She's not back there backstage. I don't see her. I don't think.
No, I mean, but Twizzle, see on the screen? So she's here.
Oh.
There she is.
I just see everybody saying they're a weirdo.
You're a weirdo? Everybody's a weirdo.
Everybody's a weirdo. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, right? See, at least I can admit it. We have such a good community. You guys are so great. I need to say that. I don't say it enough. I do say it, but you guys are all very smart, including you, Robert. And you guys are all very, I haven't seen any trolls tonight. I mean, maybe I'm speaking to, I hope that's not bad timing and somebody jumps in here, but like anybody really who wants to contribute or be a part of the panel is welcome. I saw earlier somebody said that.
Okay, I see someone now.
That's Sunny Spirit.
There she is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys.
Hey, there you are. See, this isn't
Bob, I didn't mean that as it was funny to me because I'm I'm like getting old, and so like this whole like I'm trying to watch it on my TV and listen to it on my phone, and so I wasn't watching because I had the TV paused, and I thought I was like, no, let me just hold on, I gotta talk about one more thing, and I just kept asking, and then Tommy came on, and I was like, hey Tommy, and I was like having this conversation with myself before I realized that I was cut off. It was hilarious. I had to go back and watch it because I was like, what the fuck just happened? It was funny. I was not trying to be mean to you at all. I just thought it was hilarious because I'm old and I don't understand technology very well.
It's all good.
Yeah, so is True Crime Cult. Hi, how are you? I haven't met you before, but I watch your show.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm good.
Well, thank you.
I was listening to you talk about. I'm assuming you've been watching Doc's channel where he's been doing all those comparisons, and some of them, like, he really got. I watched like the first 8, and then I was like, no, you lost me, dude. He started talking about the writing and the spacing and stuff, and like, that's how, when I grew up, I'm 40 something, I don't even know, I lost track, but when I grew up, that's how we wrote. We learned keyboarding. I'm a teacher now, and I'm just so frazzled with the education system right now, and like how they've taken away, like, I tell people to write their signature. I'm an art teacher. I ask them to write their signature, and they look at me like, they're like, what?
They're like in cursive?
Yeah, like, they don't teach things. And I came from Minnesota, and now I live in Florida, and let me tell you, it's a culture shock still. And honestly, I hope it always is, unless it changes down here. But anyway, he was comparing like spaces between words and stuff, and it wasn't correct. The first one that he showed did have double spaces, but the other ones did not. And the one with the comma did not. Like, I'm very English literate, and I grade my students. I make my art students write a lot of critical thinking and art comparisons and things. And so I'm a stickler. My students have given me shit because they're like, you're not an English teacher. And I'm like, well, yes, I am, because you need to learn how to write properly. So you need to be held accountable in every class.
Right.
So
obviously the English teacher's not doing the right thing.
Right. It's really disappointing. So I don't want to talk about, I don't need to talk about the education system, but I just wanted to say that to back up my point in saying that, like, when I look at things, I can see it very, very clearly. So that part of his analysis was not correct. But otherwise, I mean, he had some good points. I just don't think, I think Inan is like, he wants attention. He's one of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, he even was like, how many views is it getting? Like, he was being interviewed by somebody, and they said, did you write this? And he was like, yeah. And they asked him something else, and he was like, well, no, that was just a fallacy, or, a conspiracy theory. And he was like, but how many views did it get? I mean, he's just
why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a distraction. I don't think that he might know something. I think that the vehicle that he saw, I think that could be very relevant. And I think that Demetrius and Emma, I think they drive something like that, actually.
I wouldn't doubt it. It seems like a very tinted, private, concealed vehicle, which is perfect for what they do, allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I say is allegedly. Let me just put that as a blanket statement. But
yeah, let's all say that, Robert.
Allegedly.
We're all speaking allegedly.
We're all speaking allegedly.
Right.
What else? God, there's so much with this case that I want to talk about. I was on a different program last night, and it just blows my mind how people, like, I just want to say, like, we live in America, folks, and we do believe in innocent until proven guilty. And this man's rights have been violated since the moment that they brought him into this whole conversation. And I don't know if he's guilty or not. If I'm being totally honest, I lean towards not, because there's more evidence to me that he is being framed like a motherfucker. Excuse my French. That's like my favorite word, though, so it might slip out every once in a while. But the F word, it's a verb, an adjective, a noun. I just love using that word. So, but this is Sunny Spirit, cause.
Yeah.
I'm actually figuring out, I do have the TV on, so I got my tech fixed. Like, I'm figuring a little bit out as I go. But what the hell was I just saying? Oh, because I was telling this other person, I won't say what show I was on, but I was like, you guys, everybody just glosses over this whole like arrest warrant, and the fact you guys were just talking about the sheath, right? Like, they arrested this man based on this alleged, let me say alleged, touch
Did
DNA.
everybody hear her say alleged?
That is what they arrested this man with. And if you want to get, this is what I was trying to say to her last night. If you wanted to get a DNA sample to compare to his, why in the HE double hockey sticks did you not get his DNA when he was in Pennsylvania? Or I'm sorry, in Idaho, because you had plenty of opportunity to, he works at the freaking college. He probably worked for the police department. I don't even know if they took, they're like, well, they can't. I'm like, they've let this man drive across the entire United States being a quadruple murderer, and they were following him, so that made it okay. You are so full of you know what, because people just don't do that. You pull people in for conversation, first of all, and if you have any idea that they are involved in this, you freaking figure out some thing to hold them on, and they can figure out a way to hold him. They have at least 48 hours to hold the man if they suspect him, if not more. And if they want to compare his DNA, guess what? That's the place they should have done it. They frickin' drive 2,900 miles across, literally the entire United States of America, to go get, and this was the point I was trying to make. I played hockey, so I love hockey sticks. And they get his dad's. This is so freaking corrupt. Like, first of all, they're telling us that he was bagging his own DNA and putting it in. I'm definitely from Minnesota. Yes, is my Minnesota coming out?
Minnesota.
I feel like I got rid of it, but apparently I didn't, especially when I get heated, probably. But yeah, man, yeah, sure, you bet, yeah. They go and get his dad's DNA when they had so much. They built this backwards bullshit tree. They're telling us that he is bagging up his own DNA. And this was one of the things that she cut me off, because she was very like, meh. Anytime I was trying to make a point, I got cut off. And she was like, well, you don't know when they got his dad's DNA. And I was like, well, neither do you. And then at the very end, after I had hung up, she played a clip from CNN that literally said that, which was what I was saying to her, that the FBI was watching the parents' house in Pennsylvania, and they saw him throwing away this DNA, right? Like this prepackaged DNA, and they got his DNA. And then they busted in. They literally said it in that order. And I was like, you just proved my point on CNN. Like, you played a clip at the very end that proved my point, like one of my biggest points. And people want to gloss over the fact that, like, why do you think that Anne is still fighting IGG? Because that is what he was arrested on. That is this is called the Constitution of America, and we have rights, and they are clearly breaking those rights. And and they're like, well, who cares how they got it? Once they swabbed his cheek, then they matched his DNA. Well, if they wanted to match his DNA, folks, they could have done it when he was still in Idaho. And if anybody wants to argue with me or even have a civil conversation with me about that, I would really be interested in having that conversation, because I don't see how in the world they can say that they couldn't have gotten his DNA, direct DNA. They didn't have to do a backwards family tree. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that they don't want to give him. And his alibi is the discovery. And we were going on about that. I'm like, they won't give him the discovery. It's been 1.5 years. The state is delaying the case, not the defense. The state is. And there's civil lawsuits against 3 entities in Idaho from the Gonsalveses. And I think that they're pushing it. One of the reasons they're pushing it is because they have a time limit. They have 2 years from the date they filed. They had to file by a certain date. And then they only had 2 years from that date to actually go through with the lawsuit. And then once that time is up, they can't anymore. So I don't know if that plays into some of it, but oh God, I could go on. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I have diarrhea of the mouth right now. I could just.
Well, I do know that.
Wait. Bob, did you have something to say? Bob? My Bob?
No, I was just kidding.
Oh, okay.
I put the timer up there as a joke. Come on.
As a joke.
Are you gonna cut me off, Bob?
Well, I do know with the IgG when they found that molecule of DNA on the button snap, it wasn't enough to test. So what they did in the ISP forensic lab, they manufactured a strand of his DNA. Yeah, they manufactured a strand of DNA to test against the knife sheath.
Yeah, they filled in certain things, I think, from what I understand. And they, I think, and I don't know, I haven't heard it in this case, but I know because I know a lot about IgG because I have studied cold cases for like 25 years and I watch a lot. I've watched CeCe Moore since she first, like, basically discovered that she could do this because somebody was like, can you do this? And she was like, well, yeah, I think I probably could. Let me try. And that's how she kind of fell into it. But now they can duplicate once they have DNA now, as far as I understand, and I'm not a scientist, but I do know a lot about DNA from this, is that they can now, if they have even a little bit, as far as I understand, they can duplicate and replicate your DNA to get more to test. But I think that conversation is really moot. That's my opinion. I don't think that any of that is even relevant because I don't think that they did that at all. I think that this was all manufactured. This is my opinion, allegedly, that it was all manufactured. I think that wording in the that Ann or Logston, I forget his name, who I love. I freaking love that guy. He's such a rebel. I love him. He was like the sheet that was placed. And I think that wording was very telling from the minute. Yes, Tanel, I completely agree. This whole case, and they know it. And I think right now that they are trying to do damage control, honestly. Like, I think that they know that this case is going to fall apart because if they got this DNA and this was their guy, then everything else should fall into place, right? Like, there shouldn't be all of these questions about, I watch, just like I'm sure all of you, and one of the reasons I got sucked into this case was because, like, I'm like, none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. And so I'm trying to figure it out. And so I'm asking all these questions. Nobody can give me answers. And so I'm like, okay, that smells like corruption from the top down. And I think that because we're all able to watch all this now, this is why corruption is being exposed now, because now the public is actually able to do what the public has always been supposed to been able to do according to our Constitution, but many of us don't want to actually go sit in a courtroom all the time, so we don't use that privilege. But now that we're being televised and things are out there, people are watching. And
I think the judge is watching.
I'm trying to figure out what I think about J Cubed. At first I was like, this guy
You said J Cubed.
Judge John Judge. But he was like, I'm like, he's super sweet. And then I'm like, shit, this guy's in corruption too, because the way that him and Bill work and his wife works for the university. And I'm like, so I don't know. Now I'm kind of watching him. What do you guys think about him?
Bob, do you have an opinion? Robert, do you have an opinion?
On who? John, the judge?
Yeah. What is your opinion?
I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, which isn't very far.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to throw him very far.
I'm kind of smelling that too.
He's like, he reminds me of the judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. That like he already has his mind made up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like
I'm
that
getting that.
judge too.
I'm getting that
I
vibe
forgot his
from
name,
him.
yeah.
And he also is like making decisions that he shouldn't be making, and it's so obvious. And
The
it's for
IDG, any of the information at the IDG to get the warrant, to get Mr. Kohberger's DNA, Mr.
yeah.
Bob just decided to do that.
I just think that like he doesn't know. Either he's playing really stupid because he's like, I don't even know, like, can we move forward with this? Because they put this, like, shouldn't you know this, judge? I'm confused. You're the judge. Shouldn't you know the law?
Right. It seems like they're coaching him with the law. When they talk to him, they're like, no, this. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and Anne's like, I need the cast report. And he's like, oh, is that the video? And she's like, the cast report is about the cell phone, judge? Oh, like, really, dude? And you're making decisions about who should get what IGG? That's bullshit. That's discovery, and you turn it over. And if it looks like an impropriety, it's an impropriety. And that's the same thing with changing the venue. If it looks sus, you better change it because it is always going to be called into question, and they know that. They just did that with Chad Daybell. The judge was like, I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. This is moving. Like, this is moving because there's just
Brian wants to move it. He wants to move it to the state Supreme Court.
Brian does?
Yeah, he just filed that. I think it was 2 days ago. Was it?
Oh, for the trial?
He wants, he's trying to get it, the trial seen by the Idaho, what did I just say? Supreme Court.
Supreme Court for the actual, just the trial itself for the massacre.
Yeah, because they were talking, remember when they were talking about the date and they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to do that because of like the, whatever their football games or whatever the hell is more important to them. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You can't put a football game, make it an away game. You know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with you? Honor these people, but he doesn't want to. So I think Brian, like, you know what? I could probably be seen in the Supreme Court and it would be less bias and maybe, I don't know, what's the capital of Idaho, Boise? Maybe.
I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't know you could, petition to go like have your first trial in the Supreme Court. That's freaking interesting.
Well, obviously Brian knew it. You know what I mean? Brian's like,
I think the reason they're doing that is because of all the improper stuff that the MPD did, and they're trying to get the case thrown out via the Supreme Court.
Here's the thing. The case should be thrown out, and everybody knows it because the way that they arrested this man was unconstitutional. And I'm going to go ahead and say that scary as F, because if he's guilty, which again, I'm leaning towards he's not, but if he is, and they made all these reckless moves and he gets out because they didn't do their job properly, that is America.
Oh, okay. The chat is saying, the chat actually said, I am wrong. I'm going to admit I'm wrong. I heard wrong.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It's only the motion to dismiss. Well, they should dismiss it, by the way. It's like it's not even plausible to me that like you only have one suspect. You're banking it all on one guy with all these other connections to these people.
Oh, the whole thing. It's so sad because these families are not going to get justice. I don't think they're going to get justice.
I think Steve G will get justice. I feel like he's going to do it any possible way.
Yeah, I hope he actually knows what's going on. Like, I can't tell if he understands because Christy's like, kill him. And I'm like, I get it. If it was my child, I get it. But like, you want to get him you want to get the right person. And I've actually been put in jail only for like 2 months. It was in Arizona for something that I did not do, and it was scary as F. And I'm thinking, I'm putting myself in somebody's shoes that's wrongfully imprisoned for a Can you imagine, like, you're home on Christmas break, you're hanging out with your family, you're up like doing the trash because you're a night owl, so you're doing your mom and dad a favor, and all of a sudden all your windows and doors are just busted, and you're like, what the F? And you're just like in cuffs and probably thrown down we don't have any body cam of any of that. We don't have any interviews on camera.
No 911 call.
No 911 call.
No interrogation.
Exactly. Did they
what
even
the hell is going on?
I mean, if a Supreme Court actually looks at what is going on and they don't call BS, then I just watched do you guys watch Neek's Peaks?
Yes.
She just put out a new one that was about like the white supremacy movement in Idaho. Did you see that one?
I didn't see that one. No, there's a white supremacy movement in Idaho.
Yeah, it's called like Complexion Connection, I think. I think it's fairly new. And it's bringing in, you need to stop, little Missy. That's my baby girl, sorry. Yeah, you should watch that because that is bringing
Oh, you
up,
know what though? You said white supremacist, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there that what is his name? Jesse James Bailey.
Oh yeah. I think he's see, there's just like, come on. Jesse James, Emma, and Dee. I'm sorry. Where are these people? They've got to be in witness protection. Oh, you're on murder charges and you just get let out of jail based on technicality? Are you out of your mind? But you're looking at Brian Kohberger over here with all this BS, and he doesn't get to have a say in any. Like, oh, we're gonna shoot his ass. We don't know anything, but we're gonna shoot his ass because we need.
It's really weird that they would even bring that up because they haven't done that in so long. It's like they're trying to be like, you know, how people are like, don't mess with Texas. You know, they're like,
that's what
don't mess with Idaho.
She actually connects that. She's wondering if there's a connection between Idaho and Texas because there's like a white supremacist movement in Texas. This mother and her 2 children just drowned in a river trying to illegally come over here, I think, and they put in some barriers. So it's harder for immigrants to come over, and they put up some fence so like the United States doesn't have proper, like, it's all messed up down there, obviously, as we all know. And so but then she's making these connections to, like, Haley was moving to Texas, and then there was a LGBTQ parade. I don't remember what year it was, but they actually intercepted a U-Haul. They saw like 30 dudes in like SWAT gear getting into the back of a U-Haul, and so they intercepted them when they opened the door because they were going to go to this LGBTQ parade and just wreak havoc. And they arrested them all, and there was a connection between one of the guys in that group in Idaho, and then now he shows a clip of Biden in a meeting with his people. I don't know a lot about politics. I hate politics, but I need to know a little bit, but I just like So, but he literally in this meeting, it's like a literal clip that she shows of him in this meeting saying like, what century are we in? I mean, Idaho is trying, like, they have all these crazy abortion things, like people that have actual health issues that are in, like, there's issues that they need to have an option. And then it's like, they talk about, there's this connection. There's the connection. And I think JJB is connected with that. I can't remember. Do you guys know like more facts on him with that? Because I can't remember specifically what I've researched on that.
What do you mean?
With the white supremacy.
Well,
Jesse James.
I think that Jesse James, all I know about him is that he was like a prison guard, I guess, and then somehow became involved. I mean, I guess it would be pretty easy to become involved with a Aryan gang, like an Aryan prison gang, if you worked there, because then you could like run for them. You know, you could like bring stuff in.
He was in prison, right?
Yeah, he's in prison, but before he was in prison, he was a guard in the prison.
Oh, well.
Weird, right?
That is so weird, because how did he survive? Most guards that go to prison just get attacked.
Yeah, I would think so. If he was, I mean,
so
I
he
don't
must
want to stereotype anybody, but I would assume people that work long term in a prison, they're not really nice. You know what I mean?
Well,
they
yeah, he must have been in with, because I've heard a lot of rumblings about more recently, and I've actually heard people on like Surviving the Survivor that are people that are actually prison guards in these crazy places. They're like super sweet people that you just want to hug, and I'm like, how do these people like not get killed? It's insane the things that they deal with in there. But they're having issues. I mean, obviously, because it's super dangerous, they can't keep people in those positions, and so they're so understaffed, just like teachers, and obviously a lot more dangerous. But it is dangerous to be a teacher these days too. But they were talking about how like some of them actually are integrated. They actually busted a bunch of them for a whole bunch of them got fired because a lot of these white supremacist gang members infiltrated as guards. Like they got hired as guards, and then they were part of this within the group or within the prison, and they did an investigation and figured it out, and they all got fired, and I assume probably got sent to prison. I can't remember, but that was on Surviving the Survivor, and it was with actual guards in like Texas, and can't remember where else, but some high very high risk prisons, like the high, like the top most security kind of prison. So yeah, so he probably was one of those, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's real easy for, I think, like a guard to fall into something like that. You know what I mean? They're with them every single day. They see like who the powerful people are and who aren't, who has money, who doesn't. And it's really easy for like a guard to, in the same moment, help themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like they're helping the prisoner by bringing drugs in or whatever, or leaving the cell door open. You know, they do those like gladiator games in prison where they let the prisoners beat up each other. You bet on it.
Yeah, I think it's the type of person that they're, you know, again, I always make the reference back to teachers, but you're so limited on your pool of people that you can hire, and so you're not getting people that are like ethically strong. I mean, if you have people that are very weak-minded and not going into this job with the idea of like, these are prisoners and I'm doing my time alongside of them and I'm here to protect them, but like at the same time I have to, you know, like, I mean, they throw themselves in the midst of danger to save prisoners, you know, like they could get killed, but that's their job. It's just like being it's just like being a cop. And so it just depends on the type of people that they're hiring. And I think their pool is so limited that if you get, first of all, you have people infiltrating on purpose from the white supremacist groups, and then you also have people that are, I don't know if I want to use the word weak-minded, but very easily manipulated and don't have strong personalities and strong ethics. I think it's scary, but I mean, they've got to hire people. They've got to have people there. Go ahead, Robert. Sorry, I could talk till I'm purple in the face.
No, I was just saying, I got to jump down off of here. My daughter is hollering for pizza, so I got to go make her pizza.
Okay. Give her a hug for all of us. Thank you, Robert.
Well,
You be a good dad.
And you and Bob are invited to my channel anytime you want to come over. Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing any videos soon or?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a live Monday with Sophie. Sophie and I are. Yeah, Sophie and I we're going over the video I put out today. So it's my own content I'm actually going over.
Am I invited too, Robert?
Yeah, you're invited too.
I just invited myself.
Great job, because you said yes. You did better than Inan. You did better than Inan did.
But I hope to see you guys soon. I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to see you.
You guys have a good night, and happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, Strange, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
When was it? Was it like this week?
It's sometime this week, yeah.
Nice. Happy birthday, girl.
It was a year, many years ago.
We were blessed with your birthday.
Back in the 1900s.
You look really good, dude. Like, seriously. What do you do? What's your health regimen?
It's Bob and I take a lot of vitamins. Drink a lot of water, right, Bob?
Yeah.
Hi, B.O.B.
Hello.
Hello. I like how you're chilling with Dahmer there.
That's his boy. He's behind you, Bob. Behind you.
Interesting creature.
Yeah, he is, right?
He's a serial killer that I just, honestly, this is going to make me sound like a scary person, but he's one that I want to give a hug to.
Oh, really? Oh, because of his upbringing, you mean?
Yeah, I just feel like he just really needed lots of hugs.
Yeah,
but
probably.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't help, but I'm just saying, like, I think that this world is creating so much havoc because we're spreading so much hate and violence, and I keep trying to just tell people we're here to love each other. That's it. Like, that is our whole purpose on this planet. If you want to know the meaning of life, people, I just told you.
She just told you guys. You heard it here. Strange suspicion.
You heard it there first. I figured it out when I was reading one of my Buddhism books a few, like 10 years ago, and I was like, oh my God, I know the meaning of life.
You're like, books. You should contact Tim Robbins or whatever. Tony Robbins? What's his name?
I like his
I do too.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
I'm into that stuff for
He's
real.
super big too. Like his head is like huge. He's got to be like 6 foot. I don't know, real tall.
He's got to have a lot of love in there. Yeah.
His voice is really tall.
His voice he's like, ah, right. That's what he does at the beginning. He makes everybody go, ah. So the whole group.
He's very, very good. I've thought about being a public speaker, but I don't know. I'd like to join into something like that. That'd be cool.
You should
get mentored.
Yeah, get mentored and then learn the ropes.
Yeah,
it's a good way to do it.
I mean, commanding a room of people that large, that I am not scared of public speaking, which I'm in like the 5%, but I feel like that might be a little overwhelming. So
yeah, probably. Well, sometimes I guess I find it easy to do public speaking or speaking in front of a camera when you're speaking about something that you really enjoy. You know what I mean? Because then you just feel like you're having a conversation.
Exactly. But I think for me, like, I'm in recovery. I think I've told you I'm an alcoholic in recovery. And when I speak at AA meetings and stuff like that.
That's part of life. Those are the seasons of life. The second P that keeps people in learn helplessness so they don't change, this belief's got to be annihilated, broken through, and that it's pervasive. That means that because my relationship's not great, my whole life is horrible. Then you're forgetting you do have health, or you do have friends, or you do have a job, or you do have whatever. I can breathe. And the third one is we think the problem is personal.
Okay, Bob.
His
Bob
voice,
wanted everybody to see that. Yeah,
his
Ouija
voice
board. Yeah.
sounds so modified somehow. It's so weird. I almost feel like it's, I don't want to say what I feel like it is because I don't want to say anything negative, but it sounds modified. It's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It did sound weird. It did. Yeah, maybe it was like.
I feel like it should be deep, like really deep. Like he's such a big, manly man, and it should be really deep. But
yeah, he lives in, where does he live? Fiji? I think he lives in Fiji. He's super rich. That's all I know. And he's old and he doesn't age. He's just this big monster of a man trying to make everybody's lives better.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been involved in any controversy or anything. Hey, Bob, Sudi said she loves the Ouija board. Your background. Yeah, Bob likes Ouija boards. Bob is a paranormal guy. There's a channel. If you look hard enough, you'll know. So Bob does have a channel. I'm not sure. Tani, I know you can hear me. Tani.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to figure out if you're going to tell me what channel it is.
Oh, no.
Top secret information.
If you watched some of our videos that aren't true crime, it's on there.
Okay.
Because we have that's the other thing. I don't think people realize that especially our paid members can they have priority for content suggestions. We do have a video, it's called Deciphering the Enigma. I don't know if Bob can pull it up. Can you pull that up, Bob, you think? Our own video. I know there's nothing wrong with doing that. I don't want anybody to get mad that we're playing our video, okay? But it's like a minute long because I've asked people to watch it.
Nobody's gonna get mad. We love it.
Like it's a video and it just is. Did you find it, Bob?
Which one is it?
It's called Deciphering the Enigma. It's like a minute long. It's the one that shows all the different kinds of content we would do.
Oh, you want me to play that one?
Yeah, just real quick. So I was talking about content suggestions, and you guys might be surprised at the different kinds of content that I would cover. Not that I would ever take you guys away from true crime or anything, but we try to be like a diverse channel, and we have quite a lot of expertise in, like Bob is, would you call yourself a medium, Bob?
What?
Would you call yourself a medium? What was it? Psychic medium?
You can connect with the other side.
Oh, he definitely can. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like we always, every time we've ever done like a paranormal investigation, we've found a lot of certain like connections to the history of somebody. Cause I'll look up the obituary after we talk to them. And a lot of the times, one time we were talking to, a spirit that was in, I don't know if anybody in the chat right now is from the UK, but it was RAF, which is, I don't know if Bob remembers what that is. So Royal Air Force. Oh, there it is. Here's a video. Okay. So you guys, Bob's going to play this video, and this is the different kinds of content that we do. And I'd like to see in the chat which ones you're interested in. So let's check this out. You got it? I don't know why it's quiet, but it is. Maybe it's my speaker. Sorry about that, blood.
was your channel. That's your channel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my channel. Yeah, a lot of people don't like look at this video. I don't know why. I always tell people, like, if you want to know what kind of content I do, that you could look on the Deciphering the Enigma channel, but you can see it's like we do conspiracy theories, paranormal, Mandela effect, Randonautica, if you know what that is. A lot of people, I think Rodney might know. Oh yeah, serial killer. I'm willing to do serial killer series. Rodney, do you know what Randonautica is?
I just want to say, Pia edited that video too.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out.
You do great work, Bob. I watch all your well, I have to say I watch all your Idaho 4. I am so sucked into this Idaho 4 thing. It's ruining my life. But yeah, I go to your channel. I just need I do want to check out more. I'm really into paranormal stuff. I'm a super spiritual person. I definitely feel like, well, I feel like everybody has psychic abilities. They just need to not be scared of it. And I know that I definitely have, I also believe in reincarnation, and I know that I'm an old soul, and I've been told that this is my last hurrah on this earth. So I need to do my shit. And I've been in a really bad place for like 6 years. I've had a lot of health problems and stuff. So and then I got told that with somebody that I work with, and I feel like it actually like made me worse because I felt so much pressure and all these things in my life. My dad passed away, and it was just rough. But anyway, I definitely will check out more of that stuff. You have great content. I love it. You came on and I was like, I love it. She's like my spirit animal. You're like my spirit animal.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're doing our best. We just try, like, I know I'm not putting anybody down, guys. Please don't think I am. But we just try not to like read a screen and not like have my living room in the background. And Bob is so skilled with editing. I have to take advantage of it. You know what I mean? And he's so creative. I'm so grateful for Bob. He's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have awesome. I don't like, I try to watch people that I don't agree with also, because I think that that's important. But yeah, when they're just like this, and it's not like open, it's really difficult. Like I make myself watch it and then I'm like super tense and my anxiety is through the roof. And I'm like, okay, well, I got through it. But with yours, I'm like, why doesn't she have more content? I wish she'd do more every day. I don't want to wait till Mondays.
Yeah. What are you doing up here, Bob? What is this?
The sheep. Oh, I saw that.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Strange Suspicion True Crime Series.
This is great.
Hi, I'll be your spirit guide today. Are you ready to receive a message? Good, let's begin. Let the message flow through you. Hear my words and listen to the calm in my voice and repeat after me.
He's not guilty.
He's not guilty. Allegedly. Until proven otherwise in a court of law. Oh, I see. You're not a sheep. Then welcome, cosmic traveler. Okay, now that I have your attention. Puff, puff, pass. Sus gang.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Lives Matter because it's a positive movement that protects professional actors, clowns like myself, so we don't get profiled with these other clowns who are terrorizing the public and everything like that.
Why don't you guys come up to this barrier right here? Let's put the butts against it.
It is truly remarkable how our community values respect, critical thinking, and justice over everything else. It's what sets us apart and keeps our community strong. Think about it, why waste precious time watching the same grainy footage and listening to the same recycled content from a football field away? We owe it to ourselves and to the victims to focus on facts and not on sensationalism. True crime content on YouTube is starting to feel a bit like a soap opera, don't you think? I mean, the rumors flying around about people being undercover FBI agents are pretty wild. But seriously, who are they talking about? And why make something like that up? You know, it's like whatever if you're all about sharing someone else's content, but it's kind of lame, right? Like seriously, why not give people your own content instead of just chasing popularity and using other people's thoughts and their content to invoke and bring conversation to your channel rather than theirs? When we talk about the Idaho 4, we're talking about a serious tragedy that left for people murdered families, devastated, and friends never being able to experience more memories with Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana. Maybe we should leave the drama to those creators who thrive on it.
An interesting example of acting suspicious is Inan Harsh. Inan's Reddit posts came off as suspicious because they read more like a detailed life story than like a straightforward explanation. If you haven't read it yet, be prepared. It's pretty long. And in this post, Inan talks about his past, mentioning that 12 years ago, he was arrested, guys, for his second robbery. Also, possession of a stolen firearm and illegal possession of mushrooms, MDMA, meth, and opiates. He says most of his charges were dropped, all of them, except the one related to MDMA possession with intent to deliver. He also states that he learned how to shoot up in prison, meaning I would assume that means he still does certain chemicals.
Allegedly.
The way he jumps from one topic to another in his posts seems scattered and hard to follow, which makes it seem like he might have written them late at night or while under the influence of something. His manifesto, as I call it, about his life, about his relationship with his family, about all kinds of things that have absolutely nothing to do with the Idaho 4. His behavior during interviews is absolutely incredibly strange. He asks about views, he asks about what people have said about him and how much publicity he's gotten with these things said about him. He also likes to go into his private life a lot.
There was, I saw like this, sort of like, kind of like.
I know, but you also decided to share an AMA on Reddit recently, which is when I reached out to you, and you did kind of mention meeting them, or at least Kaylee, and maybe you think you might have met Xana and her boyfriend. That would be Ethan.
Yeah, I think the person I think I remember most is Kaylee, and like when I introduced myself, I think she was like the first one I shook hands with. I just had like this. It was a pretty nice bottle of wine. I don't remember what kind it was, but it was pretty expensive. And I was cooking with it. I was gonna finish it, and I was like taking my trash out. So I don't remember where I was outside, and then they were just like like chit chatting and drinking a little bit, playing some cool music. And so I went down, and they were like drinking some beer, and I was just like asked her if she wanted this bottle of wine. I was gonna finish it, and they were like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then I was like, yeah. And then we just introduced them, like the neighbor, like lived upstairs, and that was pretty much it. They were super, super nice and smiley. That's pretty much all I remember. I never met him after that. I was like, I always thought about crashing their party sometimes, but I never actually did it. I usually got my own thing going on.
Yeah. But, yeah, you referred to them in the Reddit AMA as beautiful, joyful. I can't remember the other two adjectives, but yeah,
they seem really cool.
And I was just wondering if you could confirm that that was nothing you provided to any media anywhere, because a lot of people are trying to make connections there.
I didn't hear about it till basically people were telling me, and and things like this. And I was like, oh, LOL. Yeah, no, complete hoax. Yeah,
Okay.
I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
How many views has it got? Decked out, like luxury, like I thought it was black SUV, maybe like a Beamer or something, and it had like rims, tinted windows, and I was like, oh, that's like a pretty cool car. And then like, you know, coming out, like I noticed some like plates from like Arizona, I want to say, or Montana.
Have you talked to law enforcement since that first day they came over and asked you if you'd heard anything?
Yeah, I did once.
Once? Did they come over to the neighborhood again to talk to everyone, or did you go talk to them?
No, I wouldn't. I just talked to them later.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about that, or is that off the record? Okay.
That's off the record, Chef.
It seems like he's trying to put himself more in the spotlight than discuss the topic at hand, which is the lives of Haley, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana.
Wow.
Hey.
Oh.
Sorry about this. There you go. Is everybody familiar with the 4chan posts? 4chan is a crazy website, guys. It's where you can like write things anonymously. They can't be traced back, allegedly, even though the FBI monitors this website at all times. Criminals like to play cat and mouse with law enforcement on this site. They like to give away details of crimes that police officers and detectives may never solve. 4chan posts are a tell, if you ask me. The 4chan posts are incriminating towards people who are close with Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee, not somebody who happened to pick up on their Wi-Fi signal. It seems as if somebody had some kind of personal problem with each of these people, or that a group of people got together who had a collective problem, meaning maybe one person had a problem with Ethan and Xana, maybe another person, Kaylee and Maddie, or maybe 4 people on 4 people. We weren't there, University of Washington. He had an office there because he was assisting a professor, probably as part of his PhD program. So in that office, they found absolutely no evidence that was incriminating to Brian. No evidence of any strange happenings I want you to pay in attention, the office or around the office. No validate police reports, notes or plans, nothing hands-on inside experience. Work with police, desk drawers, community or interactions. any You know, evidence whatsoever. That's the Washington State University website.
They also conducted a raid when they found him to be suspect of this crime. And during this raid, they looked into his apartment as well as his office at the University of Pullman, Washington. They worked very closely with the criminology lab at the University of Washington. Brian Kohberger and his class that he attended or assisted with absolutely did discuss the case. So they absolutely were involved in touching items, in trying to help police officers investigate, or, you know, maybe assisting with investigating in some way. And his DNA would be all over that crime lab at the University of Washington in Pullman. How could it not be? His DNA was also at the police department. Brian Kohberger applied at the Pullman Police Department, and his trace DNA was all over the place. It could be completely circumstantial that his DNA was found on a knife sheath at a murder scene. It could also be completely circumstantial that Brian was running off a cell phone tower in Moscow, Idaho.
So to tie me to a deadline when I don't have the rest of the discovery that I've been waiting for that would relate to that will mean that I will be back asking the court to reopen it. My expert can't finish until I get the rest of the discovery as well.
And the discovery you're talking about is the video of the car?
No, I.
What do you?
So the video that we talk about is one that I think the state's going to use in its case that I don't have full video on. That I'm not talking about any video of Brian's car. When I'm talking about an alibi defense, I mean, unless there's video that shows it elsewhere that I haven't gotten to yet, which may be possible given the fact that there's a lot I haven't seen yet. What I'm talking about though is the cast report, the drive testing information.
Cast report meaning the identification of the particular car.
That is the cell tower information.
I'm with you.
So
there's more than one car, and a lot of the cars that we have examined in various videos look exactly the same.
The IDG, any of the information of the IDG to get the warrant, to get Mr. Kohberger's DNA.
It's normally a place where everyone feels really safe. One of the blondes was just a little bit more cheery and kind of bouncing around a little bit more, and then one was like standing there and doing the hello, how are you, and hope they find the person, hope they get the person.
Well guys, I want to thank every single
Unmuted. Sorry. Sorry for being muted. Okay, so Bob and I are going to hopefully go out and get some breakfast tomorrow morning. Yeah, we're pretty much done for the night. I can't see the Cash App right now, guys, but if you sent Cash App, thank you very much. We will check it and thank you. We do appreciate it because Cash App does not take any fee out. Like you guys are so generous on your super thanks, but you are paying YouTube. So, I don't know. Thank you if you did do the Cash App. It is my birthday weekend and it is very, very, very appreciated. We were hacked pretty bad and I lost, I'm in the hole a couple grand for something somebody else bought. So I'm trying to figure that out. I do appreciate all your support and sharing all the videos. We haven't had as many shares, guys, as before, but if you guys like a video you watch, any video at all, it doesn't even have to be a new one. It would be great if you would share the video, like the video. We love your comments on the videos. I don't really want to be talking at you all the time. I like to talk with you. Let me know in the chat if you're enjoying these lives, because I mean, I don't want to do them if you'd rather watch like a pre-recorded video. We could also, like make a video and do a live and premiere the video during the live. We could do a lot of things, but I need feedback. So I try to get it as much as I can on the community posts. If you guys aren't checking them out, check them out. Paid members on the Strange Suspicion level. And then Debbie, if you're in here or you see this, I need you to email me. She's on the Insanely Suspicious level. That's crazy. That's crazy support. But if you could go on the community post and then maybe just, thanks, Bob. If you could go on the community post and you could. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to address a few things in the chat. First of all, Rodney, if you could email me, I would love to have you on panel. I want to know when it's convenient for you. I will do a live anytime you want. I would love you. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. You guys have no idea. I so like from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Like really. So Rodney first. What does it say at Rodney? Oh, okay. The other thing was, dang it. Oh yeah. Somebody said make some shorts for us to share. I can probably crank out a shorter, Bob can tomorrow. And then we're going to have a live again on Monday at 4:20 Eastern. Hopefully you guys will be here. A lot of you are very regular. I wanted to give a special shout out to Glowy because, You have been really amazing to us. I really appreciate it. And so have all the rest of you, really, honestly. Thank you so much for being here. I know we changed up the times on the weekend a little bit, but we do have a lot of people in the UK and Australia, and you guys are very important to us too. You don't have to miss out on the lives. So I've been trying to include you. Hopefully those of you down under and across the pond in the UK appreciate that. We really, really appreciate you guys so much. I know it's totally hard being over there and watching an American YouTuber trying to match up the time zones. I'm doing my best. So hopefully, I don't know. I guess I'll see you guys Monday. I don't know, Bob, do you have credits? I like to, maybe we don't, but you're welcome, Rodney. If you don't have my email, I'm gonna just, hold on. Do you want to? Which one? Okay, guys, I'm going to put my email right there in the chat. The Cash App is on the screen. Bob is going to play one of his old bands, I think. He'll probably clear you guys out of here pretty good, but Bob was the vocalist in this band. So, oh, it's from 1995. He made all the music. It's not what I'm thinking. Why don't you say that? I don't know what you said. Bob's talking for me.
Can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah.
One of my buddies did all the vocals, and I made all the music. I'm just gonna play it because it's fun, and then I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay, I'll be in the chat, guys.
I can tell you're bleeding.
What is this? This is funny, guys.
And rest my head when I go to sleep. And then
Yes, Queen was a huge inspiration.
these trees and burning atmosphere.